I mean, if it's a first time chatter, I kinda am obligated to already start early. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe they're not interested anymore. So, Gabu, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining in, and I hope you will be enjoying your time here. I never have seen a first time chatter in like the first 5 minutes of like starting the stream. So, hey, hopefully you have a great time here. So, plan for today. I just saw Summer Musashi. No, I'm telling bullshit. I've seen Musashi is having her banner, and since I really like her design, I might actually go for some polls. I am not really trying to go for Circe or whatever her name is, but if we get Summer Musashi, I'd be very, very hyped. First time before time even ends. That's surprising. Sorry, it was the first time chat, okay? I wanted to tell them or show them that it's probably worth staying. So, your luck will carry again, I hope. Man, we have to accept, it can't always continue like this. We have pulled the most characters within 5 to 15 pulls in the recent 3 to 4 banners. So, our luck has to end eventually. Our most recent single pull, or our 2 most recent single pulls, were Lancelot into a 5-star CE. So, luck will end today. There is no doubt that I have. It will have to eventually end, and today will be the day it will end. It's just how it is. Is the Okita banner still up so we can actually check the summon history? So, we have done 3 signals on this one. We got 1 time Lancelot, 1 time a 5 CE, so I am very aware that it will end. We cannot always be so damn lucky as we have been. So it's fine. It's fine if we get shitted on. Hello and hope you enjoy your stay. Hey. So, one thing I also realized is I recently started watching a lot of Asmongold, right? A shit ton of Asmongold. He has the perfect content for just like having the music is way too loud. Why did no one tell me? So I recently started watching a lot of Asmongold, like a shit ton, and I have to admit his content is great for just having the background, but sometimes his takes are pretty bad. There are a few really bad takes, which is obviously the case, and you disagree with someone in debating stuff, and especially him that releases so much hot takes and so much content that there's a few things you would disagree on. But I realized how much I like to debate with viewers as well, about like certain things. So I just started a stream. I don't know how many people here are from America, but like one thing that I realized I would love to have a discussion about is like how shitty their freaking tipping culture is. I think that is such an interesting thing. What was a hot take for you? A hot take for me is like he said, it's not bad that every game is starting to be online, right? Like the topic was Diablo 4, right? You can only play it by being online. He said that's not a bad thing, and like if players die by playing the game in hardcore, like when the character of you dies, you're completely dead, the character is gone. That if someone dies because of a disconnect because they are forced to play online, it is not a bad thing. And there's someone that likes to make for themselves the game a lot harder than it needs to be, just because I love having the additional fear of like every single enemy can potentially destroy 10 if not 20 hours of gameplay in a single instance gives you so much joy in playing the game more, that if you die to something that isn't your fault, like just a disconnect, I think that's pretty bad. And that is, for example, a bad take of him that I've seen by watching a lot of videos. But I've only spotted like 2 or 3 bad takes by watching over 10 hours of content of him. So that's like nothing compared to how much I watched. And people are meant to disagree. There's never something people will disagree on, like on everything. So it makes total sense. That take is horrible. There was a lot of stuff in the comments, a lot of people in the comments that agreed to that as well. But in the end, if you're streaming, that's a thing that like many people also disregard. Even though there's people that are better with that or worse, if you're streaming, you are coming up with your arguments in the very minute. While you, the viewer, if you're watching the video or something, you can pause the video, take 10 minutes time to think about what you want to say or like what you think about the take. You have way more time to think about what they have just said or what you want to say than the streamer has. And so in the heat of moment, if someone says something dumb, it's just natural because they couldn't think through the entire thought process. I mean, gacha is fine to not be online since the game is free, but I mean, gacha is fine to not be online since the game is free, but purchase games all being online is bad. Yes. Gacha games, like gacha games, whew. Let's just say there's a difficulty. Like, if you have online games, right? Very simple. If you have online games that are only can only be played on a server online, there's a lot less of a risk that there's like gonna be mods, ways that the person can cheat. There's usually like a theme, like every time there's mods for a game. Skyrim, stuff like that. Those are games that can be played offline. And having mods for them is super easy. But if it's a server-based game, everything's online, you cannot implement mods. And so, if a gacha game would allow you to play offline as well, there would be a high likelihood that many would just like fiddle with the gacha rates and something, being undetected. You can pretty much play an entire gacha game offline then, and just change the gacha rates to yourself, like get the units you want by modding it. And so it makes sense that a gacha game producer, a developer, obviously want to have the game online so no one can find a loophole and just like easily go through the game without or get everything in the game without having to play the game. It's not fun. I don't know why people do it or why people would do it, but it makes sense from the view of a developer. Musashi not worth for real. I was afraid of such comments. I think she looks good, man. She just looks good, okay? The only time gacha games should be offline is when the game is going to die and the players still want to keep the memories. That is such a good call. I love that call. That would be, like, I loved Revived Witch. Revived Witch was one of my favorite games that I have tried out but never continued playing. And I wish they would have just shut it down the server but allowed it to be offline. That, like, there's no online anymore, but it's just offline. There's gonna be, like in Pokemon, there's a seed that you can, like, every time you start the game, the seed is different, so the gacha is also like a gamble. But, like, that would have been so cool that you, even though it's like a game is not available anymore, or you cannot play it online anymore, that you can still play through the story, that you can experience how it was. I'd be very happy if that was actually a thing. That is a great call, man. That is amazing. I wish that would be the case. Wow, that would be cool. The only time gacha game... Wait, yeah, I read it. Did not stop Chinese trolls from deleting assets in the world of the other players during Cope. Regarding which game? That is... do you mean in Diablo 4? Or which game? Genshin. Ooh. Okay. I mean, I am not in the view of like Genshin at all. Like, I don't know what's happening on that side, but that's that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen at all. So do I get this right? People were deleting assets from Genshin, like of other players, like. Like, for example, you were able to just, like, me, I would log into Genshin, and suddenly my characters, or, like, my weapons would be gone for no reason. That was the thing. Because if that was, that's fucking terrible. Like, if it's not by hacking your account, by literally just, like, being able to access our player by hacking the server or something. That'd be wild. Also, what the frick am I grinding here? Like, it makes sense to go for Da Vinci, because maybe I use it every once in a while. But do I not have, like, a unit that I would more likely to, or would be better to grind that thing up? It doesn't seem like it. Yeah, let's just go with that. By the way, Cesith, have you finished con? By the way, Cesith, have you finished con? What does con mean? Oh, wait, no, that's not a snatch joke. It is a snatch joke, right? It's you. It's you. Wait, no, okay. Oh, man. Because the one time. Now I can just not believe in you anymore. Why do you say con? Can you just not say on K1 with the line without, like, I know Sawcon or things like that, Sawcon this nuts or whatever. And when you said con, there's just something in me that is not sure, especially because last stream, if you're not making these nuts jokes. But regarding your question, I have yet to finish K-On! I'm not watching it like it's for me like my casual show, right? When I have like time, when I want to watch 1 or 2 episodes right before bed, I can do so. So I am currently at season 2 on episode 3 or 4. Like they just got their kame, like their turtle. And yeah, it's pretty cool. K-On! Is a great show. I wish sometimes I would be watching it in English, like with English subtitles. But I really want to watch the entire thing in Japanese original dub to eventually get better with learning the language. Oh wait, why do I buff her? That's dumb. Oh no. Why did I do this? Oh shit, that was so terrible. Have you started Gundam? Not yet. We will see. Eventually we'll start Gundam. Now at least I know where I can check which Gundam I have to start watching. It was it was some form of coding problem with a certain character that when he used some skills, he would treat different world assets as part of his kit, and it would pretty much be delete them from the game. Uninstalling and reinstalling the game did not fix it either. Your stuff was still deleted, so trolls would go into cope and use their character to delete key assets on the map. That is wild. Why did I not hear anything about that? Also, I just realized I fucked it up so damn hard. Wow. That's embarrassing. But shit. Genshin had that and I heard nothing about this? That's absolutely... How? How did I not know of this? That's wild. And so fucked up in the first place. So in other words, the one person had nothing to gain from. But grieving. That's crazy, first of all, that people are doing this. Second of all, damn, people have no life. K-On! Was relatable when someone only wanted to join a club for free food. I would do that too. Like, imagine you are forced to join a club and you're getting presented by a club that pretty much does nothing but eating food. Like, who wouldn't want to join? Like, you got just the best of both worlds. Genshin doesn't write when the game breaks. They write for dumb things that Twitter write about. I mean, in the end, what I think Genshin is one of the most interesting topics in all of gacha games. It's pretty commonly known that the Genshin community is one of the worst, which is probably understandable, like out of all gacha games, gacha game wise. This is just because out of all gacha games, it also has the youngest audience. And if I've learned one thing from the real world, that kids and young people are dumb. They're just freaking dumb. And so, obviously, the bad apples are a lot more likely to appear in the Genshin community because the overall age is a lot younger and it's aimed to a lot younger audience than any gacha game should be, because it's gambling and gambling shouldn't be advertised to kids. But in the end, it is a young audience, and it makes sense that even though there's so many cool people in the Genshin community, you cannot ignore that it's just young people. Like the young people that are there are making the entire community just absolutely horrible. Genshin is a black sheep, not only in Hoyo games, but also the gacha community in general. Yeah, I started my gacha journey when I was 9 or maybe younger. A rough age, how old you are now, Vincent. Give me an idea. Give us an idea. I started playing gacha games also underaged. I started playing the game with 15, I think gacha games actually with the age of 13. I think or is it 16? I think it depends. Earlier, like in Summoner's War when I played when I was 15, I swear to God there was a thing that said you have to be 13 or older. This might have changed and it's completely different per country. But when I played it was at the age of 13. I don't know if the government actually changed things. Like if it's now a higher age or something. I am legal. Okay, you're legal. So you have at least 5 years. Wait, no. You have at least 9 years of gacha game experience. What was the wait? Okay. It depends legal in which country, but you say you have 9 years of experience. Which gacha game were you playing? Like FGO is out for 8 years, right? So there aren't a lot of gacha games that could have possibly been your first. Like, whew, it's difficult. Gacha games are existing since 13 years, I know that. The first gacha game was Dragon Collector, I think was it called. And yeah, there are many. I hate using the term normies, but Genshin being so popular pulled in a lot of normies into the gacha community. If you told such a person that time in RPG X gets an English release a month from now, they would have a heart attack and make an outrage on Twitter. I would say what Genshin did, to keep it simple, Genshin managed out of all gacha games, the only gacha games so far, like, let's just say Hoyoverse games. Genshin was the first gacha game to breach into the mainstream. And so a lot of casual players that were never introduced to the genre were for the first time introduced to the genre by Genshin. And the reason why I am very, very sure that there's just people that have never played another game but Genshin is when I watched a short, right? Where a random person went for a convention, right? And they went around and asked what is the best game. And I tell you, I lost it. When someone responded with Genshin, I don't think I've ever lost it that hard. But like, I'm not saying Genshin is a bad game, but there is not in a single universe ever a gacha game the best game in the world. It just shouldn't be the case. Gacha games are side games. That's never a main game. And so, I don't think a gacha game can ever be the best game. Like, I don't think that's possible. I really don't think so. Like, there was never a point in my life that I would say this gacha game was the best game in my life. Do you think a gacha game can be the best game ever? I refuse to believe this. There is like, it could be the best game for them for playing at the moment since they don't have enough time to play a normal game and start up the PC and so they can play it on to go. But gameplay wise or stuff like that, it should never ever should it be better than a normal AAA, just a normal game. Since a gacha game is just, how I say this, lower down. It is because it's meant for phones. It can never show its full potential. And it's just wild to me that there's people thinking or saying that Genshin is the best game they have ever seen or played. Charlton-sama, hey, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I was like, who is this? A random dude that is just very, very much a waifu fan. Gacha aren't even side games. For some, take too little time for it to be even called a side game. The thing about Genshin is it is a complete failure of a gacha game as well. I don't consider gacha games real games. For me, yes. I mean, what is a real game? That's like the same question as like, what is a real woman? But like, gacha games, what is a real game? Like, I think it's just like there's a difference between side games and main games. It's, yeah. There was something I want to respond to before I go on. The appeal of gacha games is just that you can play it on to go. That you're able to grind an RPG, to grind your characters up like in World of Warcraft or something, without having to spend multiple hours a day. And what I want to say is about Genshin is a failure as a gacha game. Genshin is is meant to be a gacha game. is getting the benefits of a gacha game, but it's developed in a way that is just like the, just how do I say it, ripped down AAA game that doesn't look as good as a AAA game, but it just has a gambling aspect in it. So it's not good enough to be a AAA game, easily not, but it gets the benefit of a revenue from a gacha game. It's just, I don't know, I'm not a fan of Genshin as a gacha game. It is a fun game to play once in a while, but it's just like a stripped down normal game that just implemented gacha features. I don't know. I'm really not a Genshin fan if it comes to that. Like, would you call Genshin a gacha game? Beside the gacha features, I don't think is there anything else that is like beside the gacha features, like that there's gacha. Beside there's like a stamina. Everything else about the game is not a gacha game. What is a good example for this, if another game would do this? Let's just say you play Valorant, right? I mean, it's technically CSGO, right? So technically CSGO is very similar to a gacha game if you go in that direction, right? You have, instead of like your characters you can just pull your weapons. It has always been a huge debate if like loot boxes are meant as gacha. They are planning to look some POL changes behind it as well. Nutaku and Shiren at the helm, so yeah. Genshin honestly sucks cause it doesn't know what it wants to be and just takes from every open world game. Yes? CSGO has gacha in it, but I would consider it a gacha. Yes. So, I made a video about this a while ago. About like, what is gacha? And there is such a huge debate about looting box and gacha pulling, right? Summoning gacha games and summoning or pulling in boxes. What is the main difference about them? That my question to you. What is the difference? Because I had to answer this in a video, and it was rough. That shit, I remember this. I was thinking about this for so long because there is no easy answer. CSGO is not really gacha, since gacha is basically when they don't give you simple cosmetics. So, then you're telling me FIFA is gacha. Because those are not cosmetics, right? You pull for characters. So FIFA is a gacha game in that regard, right? Based on your previous message. You gamble for characters and gameplay. So, FIFA is a gacha in that case. So, I was confronted with this question, right? And it's just so hard. It's so damn hard to respond to this. I had no damn clue what I should say and do. Can I wait a second? Maybe I can pull up the video and check what I said, because I'm genuinely curious how I responded there. Yeah. Well, I love already how I start this up. Wait a second. Good. Give me a second. So I made this video a while ago. Suck. This is what many people think that don't play it. Some even despise it. A game genre that has arguably the most divided opinions. About 190 high rarity. Verbos, I even used a Ludwig clip in this one, just because I wanted to like clarify the thing. Incidents happened in Genshin Impact. Anyway, those are just a few examples you're able to find if you type in kids bans on gacha. Looking at those articles, you're also able to read a certain term, loot boxes. It's not the same thing as gacha, but it's similar. Think of it as a Western version of gacha. Obviously, I had to research the differences between gacha and loot boxes, and this gave me head edge. I thought of loot boxes as a mechanic that are implemented in normal games, where you can just roll for like certain skins, nothing that truly affects the game itself. That is exactly what Vincent said. Okay, okay, did I add something? Based on my research, I found a different explanation for it. Yeah, I got upgraded. And that was that gacha games are loot boxes. Wait a second, I didn't turn this on. But not all loot boxes are gachas. So, gacha and loot boxes have a square rectangle relationship in the sense that gachas are loot boxes, but not all loot boxes are gachas. It is difficult to differentiate between the two, as video game developers can define their own meaning for their gambling mechanic. But the basic differences between them usually boils down to monetization of the game. Gachas are the sole or main monetization strategy on free-to-play games. That is, for me, what I decided on is the difference. That a gacha game is a gacha game if the sole income of that game is based on gacha. It's based on you pull for that character. But loot boxes, if it's just like an other side thing you can invest in. I say so, the main intent of like getting the money. For example, a skin is also normal for gacha games. But this is where I decide, like, this is for me the line where I said, like, this is a gacha game and this isn't a gacha game. Back to Sailor. See ya, peasants. See ya, have a nice one. I don't know what Sailor is. How can you leave and not telling me that? FIFA is 100% a gacha game and it is legal, while having some of the worst monetization design ever. I mean, in the end, FIFA is my favorite example. I don't know how FIFA is still legally allowed to exist. FIFA is like, or in general EA. Like, how are people playing EA games? I don't get it. You need to boycott this freaking company for years. How can they get away with releasing the same trash game every year? And every year you have to start from a new and pull your characters you just pulled the recent years ago for another $10,000 to get the Ultimate Team again. How is this legal? Tell me. How? In Call of Duty, I haven't played Call of Duty in ages. They're cosmetic, right? Cosmetic loot boxes is totally fine. I have no problem with a game making cosmetic things. You can have your skins just be random. I love the CSGO chest system. Mainly because I think the skins are randomly generated, right? So no skin is the same as the other. And so that's pretty cool. Or like no for the knives, I think. And I never really pulled there. But from what I've seen is like getting a knife with that skin is not equal to the same skin on another person. Because there's like different shapes. And for example, if some might be more blue and some might be less blue. And depending on like how blue that is, that can change its value and stuff. And I think that is a interesting twist to it. I think it's only cosmetic, it doesn't influence the game, but that's the way it should be. Like, if you have loot boxes, it's cosmetic, it doesn't influence anything about the game, will have no disadvantages if you play free-to-play. That is a good way of having it. But, FIFA is like just... FIFA is so bad. I generally don't get it. Someone has to tell me. I mean, if kids play FIFA, I get that. But like, it's wild that this game that so many kids play is allowed to have gambling in it. And yes, you need your mom's credit card, but dude, they should be already introduced to gambling. Because technically you can do free pulls as well, right? And so to get the taste of that pulling, online. Ah, okay, that makes sense. So, I think this to be like a... FIFA is just like the worst. I mean, it might be like a fun game to play once in a while. I play FIFA a lot as well, but like, that game is terrible. Like, EA is terrible. It's not the game. I mean, it's wild that they can release the same game every year, but like... EA is like the worst company to have ever existed, and it's wild that it's still relevant. Even Blizzard, that is only half as bad, is still doing so much, like, it's doing so much worse. EA's, I meant, out of all game companies, what is the worst game company of all? It must be EA, right? Like, there's some scummy shit, scammer and stuff. But like, out of all the famous companies, EA is easily the worst. Also, I guess for that, thank you very much. Hope you're blessed as well. What else? But like, the reason, like, I want to read Lostbelt, but the reason is I love to debate as well with stream. And when reading Lostbelt, it's like an entire commitment where I'm gonna be reading for I don't know how many hours. But do we have any Americans here? I intentionally started the stream a little bit later today because I want that we have a few Americans here in the stream. It is criminal that FIFA UT is legal here in Romania, but FGO is not allowed in our Google Play. That is wild. I mean, in the end, it is... I don't know who put the restriction on. If it's the government or if it's like FGO itself that can say like, oh, we don't want this game to be in that country. I'm not sure. I feel like the Netherlands. The Netherlands once had like very strict gacha rules that games like gacha games were not allowed in their country. At least 6 years ago or like 7 years ago, this was a huge debate. I don't know if they went full through with that or not. So I would like to know the current state if we have someone here from Netherlands. Which is most likely not the case. But like, cool debate. I want to debate with like the American people here. Is the tipping culture. So as soon as we have one American here in the stream, I want to have with them a well-mannered discussion about like what I think about their tipping culture, and I want to have some of their arguments if they're with me or not. Because the tipping culture, if you don't know, in America I think in some states you're legally obligated to put a 20 tip on your, like when you go in a restaurant, right? You're legally obligated to give them a 20% tip for the waiters because the company itself doesn't pay enough to cover their bills. And so it is your responsibility as a customer to make sure they get enough money to be able to financially support them. And that is, it's just wild to me that there's Americans defending the system. It's wild. How is this a thing? It's crazy. Usually only if your party was 6 or more people, actually. I don't know the exact thing. All I know, like, are you from America? That's actually good if you are. Is it in every state like this? Because I think I read once that it's like you're obligated to give them a tip. But like, okay, perfect. American tipping culture is proof that slavery is still a thing. The thing is, there is no benefit. There is absolutely no benefit for the customer and for the employees that it is like this. The only person that profits from the system like this is the company. And everyone backing this system up is like, why are you trying to help the company that is most likely already making way more than enough money? Why not be on the side of the people that are the customers? That every employee is also at the side of the customer. Like, every employee is at the side of the customer. It's just, why do you back the company up? Like, shouldn't you be on the side of like the person, like the customer and the worker? Why not just give them a proper, literally a proper wage, and then if they do a great job at serving, give them a tip because you want to and not because you're forced to. Because that's what the tip implies. That is what the tip is. You honor their great work and you don't give a tip because you're forced to give them a tip. I think our tipping culture is good. I want to Gebu. That is what I wanted. It might have some benefits, yes. But I'm from Europe, right? And we don't have the same tipping culture. And so I want to have like, I want you to, if you have any good arguments, to let me know what the argument is, why the tipping culture like this is good. Because in Switzerland, if you don't tip, no one gives a shit. Like, it might be sad if they didn't give you, if they don't give you a tip as a waiter, right? But you're not obligated. But it's very common. You rarely go into a restaurant and get served without giving a tip, but you're not obligated. So if you're low on money, no one will actually look at you with like a mean face or something if you don't tip them. And so they still get the benefit of a tip. They have a normal wage, but if they do a good work, they get even more money. And so they only get it by working good. So it motivates them to also serve good, so they get that additional tip. It helps people in those service jobs get more, but forced tips are only when you're a large party because it has to deal with cleanup and large party. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on like the situation. Large parties, I'm not saying you're forced to tip, but like if there is on like, I mean, a restaurant should do this in general. If there's like a party of like over 10 people, that there's like a cleanup fee of like 1%. If it's like the 1% out of like, let's just say 5%. Out of like $100, it's like $5. Out of like most likely for a bigger party, it's like $400. 5% is, what is it, $40 or something. So that is quite a lot of money. Also, hi, I can chat sometimes. I just emo for a while at first. Hey, that's fine. Hey, welcome. So, it helps people. The service jobs get more. I think read this, yeah. You're not forced to, but it's considered bad manners to do so because for a waiter, most of their money comes from tips. But like, the real question is, why do they get? Why is coming the most money from tips and not from the place they're employed in? And why is getting the server 100% of the tip if most of the people that are tipping for the great food? Like the service as well, right? So it might be like a 50-50. But if you tip, it's not only because of the service. It's also like if the food was delicious, right? The gratitude, as they call it, and added 15 to 20% for being large party. Okay. I mean, with large parties, I can see it. But in the end, the cleaning and everything should also be included in the bill already. Like, why include hidden costs that are obligated? I don't know, having workers relying on tips to get through the month instead of the company that hired them is just toned down slavery. It's the same thing I think as well as someone from Europe. It just looks a bit like slavery. Because if you're employed somewhere, the customer shouldn't be responsible that you get enough income. It is solely the company. And if you are, or like, if it's, how I say this, you want to deserve the tip, right? It should motivate the server to do a good job. If they don't do a good job, then they shouldn't deserve a tip, right? And so, if it's like completely obligated, then it's pretty bad. But I want to check now one thing. From my knowledge, I thought like it was required to tip. So let me check on the internet. Is it required to tip in America? I need to check this now. Is it... It's just in some states maybe. Is it required to tip in America? Tipping is very much part of the culture in the state, though voluntary. Tips are expected. Okay. So, is it okay to not tip in the USA? In America, tipping is optional, in name only. Legally, it's voluntarily, but if you slink out of a restaurant without leaving a gratitude of between 15 to 25%, you're likely to be chased by a waiter demanding to know why. If you would ask for a tip in Switzerland, you would never get a tip at all. It's funny that it's funny you say that because from my perspective, Europeans are often far more forced to do things than Americans. In what regard? Give me an example. That's a cool take. I want to know why. What is an example that you're forced in Europe? Like, America always is saying so proudly the country of the freedom, but it is pretty much not more free than any other country. I don't know who wrote that, but people would get in trouble and lose their job for chasing someone down asking why that. Yeah, I can see that. That sounds a little bit wild to me. But like, from my knowledge, people always say that it's obligated. You're obligated to tip. But, so if I were to go to America, right, and never tip, I would have no problem. No one would be mad at me, right? If it's no obligation. I don't have to feel bad for not tipping someone. I don't know, this might get political and I don't like going down that road in Twitch. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I watched a video, like, with Esmangold, where he talked about, like, the tipping curves and stuff like that. And from, like, the way it sounded, it's like, it's pretty much, if you don't tip, people are gonna be mad at you and they don't want to see you back in their restaurant. That's the way it sounded. Also, I should read Anastasia Lostbelt 1 eventually as well. People will be mad at you and possibly try to shame you on social media, but the police won't knock at your door for it. Hey, I can live with that. I just know, like, there's a tweet. There was, like, a tweet about, like, an American waiter saying, like, how the Europeans there have not tipped them and they shouldn't be legally entered in the country anymore. They shouldn't be allowed into the border. And that tweet I found a little bit wild. In America, you will probably get shamed just for being straight if we see Twitter as how Americans act in real life. I mean, Twitter in general, it's like for every part of the world, it's like a shit show. It's so wild that Twitter is how it is, and it's like still functioning. People will get mad at you for literally anything, yes. Nowadays it is the case. We're sadly living in the time of the world where everyone is a snowflake. It's so annoying. Like, the best times in my life were playing shooter games with 13 years old and everyone screaming the most racist shit at each other. Like, you're in a lobby in Call of Duty, and that's like the most wild thing. Everyone screams stuff at you, and it's just, I don't know. It's so hilarious when people are, I don't know, when people are unhinged like this, and no one is like, how I say this. It's just like, in some way chill. If like you don't have to worry about saying something. And it's fine. Like, no one means it in the literal sense. Like, back in the day. No one was like this. I do agree, people nowadays need thicker skin. It's so sad. Like, if you were to be now in a Call of Duty lobby, having the same screaming contest as back in the day, people will take a screenshot of you, post it on Twitter, have a recording of you because they record anything anyway, and then they would have like the audio clip with you there, and that would be around the entire world. We need more people screaming racist there, basically what's this? No! That's not what I mean. But it's, if someone were to say your mother is freaking fat, then it's not gonna be on Twitter the next day and you have to see it and the 100,000 people are trying to take you down with it. That's the problem. So we know it sounds like we're overly negative, and maybe we are, but America doesn't really give the rest of the world a good outlook on them based on their actions and what's available on the internet about them. The thing is, how do I say it? The entire world always trashes on America, but America also trashes a lot on the entire world, and so it's kinda is right like this right now. But like, you hear you see a lot of comments on like the comment section on YouTube or on Twitter that like America is the best in that and that, and then there's like, oh yeah, but America is shit and that from the entire world, and there's like this entire conversation that goes down so many damn times. In my opinion, people should be able to say whatever they want as long as they aren't threatening someone. You know what? Can I do a hot take? Can I really do a hot take? I am against freedom of speech. What do you think? Is this a good hot take? Because from my knowledge, Germany doesn't have freedom of speech, right? So I just think, even though it doesn't threaten anyone or it doesn't harm anyone, you shouldn't be able to scream whatever you want. Like, you shouldn't be able to scream the Holocaust was I don't even want to say the thing, but you shouldn't be able to say that it was like either a good or a bad thing, for example, in that regard, because certain things should just be unsaid. And so if that is not allowed to be said, I think that's a good thing. I generally think there are certain things that shouldn't be allowed to say. Because the amount of people that just suffer from this, and then like you know, like maybe your parents suffered from this, right, or your grandparents, and you walk from the around the street and you hear something like this, and you're like, how is this illegal? How can he say this? I can agree, since if we really complete freedom means no one will have any manners, yes. Depends, I would say freedom of speech is not freedom of consequences. You can scream what you like, just be prepared to take a size 44 boot in your ass. But if you do that, right, then the person that had the freedom, like the person that just screamed it, right, they're not at fault. You, in nowadays age, you cannot even touch someone. If you don't know the story, there was a UFC fighter, right? That when he took a photo after a winning fight, right? He was full of adrenaline. There was like a ring girl that has to take a photo with him, right? And they grabbed her around the waist, right? He was accused of sexual assault for grabbing her around the waist for the ring photo, which is like a normal posing style. He was accused of sexual assault because he touched her at a non-sexual spot. It's like, it's wild. Like, I'm afraid to touch a random person, a random woman on the shoulder without being accused of being sex assault or whatever you call it. And that is just wild that this is a thing. Like, imagine in the middle of, like, you just won a UFC battle, right? Hardcore battle. You're full of adrenaline, your blood is gushing down your face. You, in the heat of the moment, right? They want to take a picture of you, right? There's the girl right next to this force store, like, that is there to take a picture with you. You want to take a natural picture with the girl, right? And because you touch her around the waist, or grab her around the waist, like for a normal photo, that's sexual assault. Like, it's wild to me that this is a thing. I know the story. Next time he won, he was running away from the ring girl so that he can avoid it, yes. So the next time he had to pose with the ring girl, right? Because he was afraid of other accusation, he ran away from the ring girl. Eventually the organizers forced him to take the picture, but he had his hands by himself to make sure that nothing bad is gonna happen. That's wild. I disagree. Respecting speech the way is dangerous to have, man, but that's my opinion. Hey, I wanted to find to disagree. The thing is about that, like with the free speech thing, the amount of times I've just heard or seen Americans just screaming in the world, just not even coherent sentences, just like random shit screaming around. It's like, why is this even a thing? I don't even remember when I had the last time someone screaming something in public. I don't think I've ever heard someone screaming in public. Persona Music, hey, welcome! Riprin, how are you doing? It's been a while. We're currently just having a grown conversation about freedom of speech for me. I just hate when like people are just like when you see a video, right, of like random people just screaming out of nowhere for no reason. This isn't Dark Knights. I know it isn't Dark Knights. I got down the rabbit hole of fake granddaughter. And wait, how many viewers do I have? Wait. This might be an accomplishment. I have 28 viewers. So I want to show you guys something. If I'm correct, at this point in time, be proud of me. Good. I don't have audio on. Perfect. Where am I? No! We need one more viewer! Nah! I am... I feel like I'm the most viewed FGO channel. But I'm not. We're tied. Right now it's a big tie. I lost. I felt like we accomplished something great to be the biggest FGO channel of the moment. But I wasn't. Damn. I have a hot take. Give me the hot take. That's because most Americans stream now on social media under a different persona, so they can't face consequences. They just need to delete the account, make a new one, and start again. I think the world would be far more kind and wonderful place if every single person would look in the mirror every day and say, you are the problem. Be better. Be better. Period. I mean, saying it and meaning it is also a difference. Like, the question is how many people, if they were actually to do this, right, would actually mean it if they say it. What would I think would help? If I could force every person in the world to do something specific. That's a rough one. It might be I don't know. That's a I wouldn't know. Wait, did I buff? I did buff. Okay. We should be fine by just doing that. I do 50% of that. I'll look in the mirror and cry myself to more sleep. Rough one. But in the end, at least you can look in the mirror. Not many people can face themselves. So you should be proud of yourself, Dark. You have done the first step and most important step. Now you need to be able to say that you are worth it. You are amazing. And eventually you will be able to skip this cry in the bed and sleep, and you will be loving yourself even more. Gacha player. That's like every after failed gacha summoning session. You should love yourself now. Listen to Ripren, he knows. Love yourself. Did you see my hot take? I felt like I did. Go look into the mirror, right? That was your hot take. Then I should have read it. I mean, self-love is good, but self-improvement is important too, in my opinion. One thing when I did the 24-hour FGO stream, where I grinded an FGO stage for 24 hours straight, there was one thing I did that I never done before, and that is listening to motivational speak, right? And since then, I listened to 2 or 3 more videos. And I am honest, I have always underestimated how actually valuable that is to do that. Sometimes just listening to motivational speech is so incredibly helpful. It's not only motivating yourself, but it's also like, I don't know, it's just, you're happier in some way. There was like I love Jordan Peterson, like in the regard of like how he phrases certain things. I don't think we have ever had a more articulate person than him, phrasing things as well thought out as him. There's some points that are arguable, but in the end, Jordan Peterson has like some very great things. And there was like one take of him that I really loved. You should, like, it was a motivational speech for like, you should, if you want to achieve things, right? You should aim lower, was his quote. And the aim lower quote I found so amazing good. Like, for example, for me, like, I try to be successful with content creation, right? And I always aim to be eventually making a living out of it. But since I heard the quote, aim lower, I got my entire motivation back to work even harder, because I used to just work, how do I say this? I used to, how do I phrase it? I used to aim at like the highest possible thing that I eventually have like a video that blows up, or like anything that will give me a huge boost or whatever. But like, since I heard the quote aim lower, I've been just focusing on like maybe achieve this video, make this video better than the last video I've done or something like that. And since that quote, I just always aim at like the next thing in front of me instead of like what is the end goal. Jordan Peterson's lectures are great to listen. He has some great stuff. I hear he's solid. If you don't know, like, my sister is someone that is like very, very well versed in like the gender war and stuff like that, and she's like very smart and stuff. And if it comes to, like, I always debate with her if, like, with certain stuff like that, with the gender thing and such. It's always, like, very interesting conversations we have. And I have to say, Jordan Peterson has, like, I used a lot of his stuff when I was debating with my sister, because he says so many true things as well. Like, he's, like, I think he's on the right side, right? I'm not sure. But, like, every time I listen to his, like, debates or whatever it is, it feels like he's not taking a particular stance. He's usually talking from the perspective of, like, the single person, which I think is so inspiring to listen to. I've been not paying attention to what I've been doing for, like, the past, I don't know how many minutes. He listens to the other side. Like, every time you watch an interview with him, he's there listening to the argument, and when he's ready to deliver his argument, most of the time, the other person just interrupts him all the time. Which is so weird. But he's like one of the few, like, if you listen, he will let the person finish their thought most of the time. But he will, in most of the arguments, he will never get to show his point. Because he just immediately interrupts him all the time. It's so wild. Ken? I'm still, like, debating with myself. Should I go? Should I try to summon Saber Musashi? I've been thinking so hard about this. Have you started the Lostbelt, and will you be reading story? I've started Lostbelt, I'm in Anastasia. I've only had one battle so far, but I will be reading story. The quote somewhat. A YouTuber called Bricky from his Helltaker review. We live in a world of complainers who will just complain and sit on their asses while not taking any step in bettering their life. Note, this is just a bare-bone message, not exactly what he said, formulated. Yeah, that is a good message. That is, yeah. There's a lot of people just complaining. Complaining about certain things, say you have to do this and this better, but themselves they have not done a single thing to actually do something as well. But they complain about everyone else to make them feel just a little bit better in their miserable self. So it is not surprising. This is a good quote. So, I think I can do the single free pull, the temple. And then, I don't know if I want to pull for Musashi. I don't know. Help me. Do I want to pull for them? I kinda want to, but I kinda... Should I? If you didn't realize, we'll listen to to Persona 3 soundtrack, the same soundtrack, for about 16 minutes straight without me realizing it. I am very, very sorry for that. I didn't realize we were listening to the same soundtrack over and over again. Mr. Streamer, you should always roll rare FP items before rolling SQ. You should always roll rare FP items before rolling SQ. Rare FP items. What are rare FP items? Do you mean frame points? What are rare FP items? Okay, but why? Do you like Musashi as a character? If yes, do it please. Note that Musashi is into Shodas. Man, I don't know. Like every time I use Musashi, right? There's like level 120 amplified Musashi, and it is so damn strong. Does anyone have with a list of like the recent characters that are coming out? Maybe pull for her now and then save for New Year when a lot of... The thing is, I am gacha addicted. I shouldn't be playing FGO because FGO is a game that is meant that you're saving. I am not saving. When I see a girl that I like the sound-wise, I'm pulling for that girl. It's a circuit mechanic. It artificially boosts rare dop rate. Is this a ritual or is this a scientifically proven thing? I don't know. Like, if it's just a ritual, I can give a fuck on it. But if it's like if it's a scientifically proven thing, then I don't know. Also,
I see
Purple Brown, thank you so much at the end of September to still deliver 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Hope you have been enjoying the streams and thanks so much for joining in. So I will read your message any second. Give me like a second to skip the song. Wait. 2 months sub to the best fanboy FGO streamer. Also, I have Musashi. You absolutely need to get her. I kind of want to. She has an amazing design. I will delete my account if it's a retail, Mr. Streamer. That's how confident I am. So it is. The thing is, you're not the first person to say always do friend polls first. But I don't get it. I just, to me, that sounds like a summoning ritual. And I've not been doing that, and I've had the craziest luck. Like, what was it? I got 2 Summer Okitan in 16 pulls. I got Summer Okitan in 16 pulls, Summer Kama in 40 pulls, Ilya in 8 pulls. On the GSSR banner, I got 2 SSR, which was Ishtar and Da Vinci. What else? I got Tammo Lancer in 8 pulls without doing the frame point thing. And so, if we were to, like, we can stop with that, with the frame point thing, as soon as my pulls are disappointing. We can do that. So right now I'm still on a streak, but if the streak is ending, how many pulls do we have? We don't have many pulls, right? 110. We would only need another 10 SQs to get 4 from an Ethereum account. I mean, you're very confident. That irritates me because you're not the first person to tell me this. So there is a very high likelihood that it is the case, but it just sounds so unlikely that that would actually be the case for a gacha game. So complete 10 rank up quests. We can actually do that. Do I have more rank up quests? There's 1. And then rank up quests, I just need to level them, right? So I can just go with beating this one. And this is, okay, this is the Musashi I meant, right? And when I use this Musashi, I just like, I didn't like her design. And then it's just like, it was so good. Save your friend points and wait to roll until after you hit 1 million mark. I could do that as well. I was actually waiting for the event to use my friend points. Because there's like an event, right? Coming out soon. That you will have to do friend point pulls. To get like more benefit. So, this is what we're getting. So, Happy New Year 2021. In which order are the displayed? This can't be the next banner is gonna release on... Wait, Ooh, I'm leaking. Wait a second. So, I am very curious. I disagree with this highly. They are far more valuable utilizing this mechanic. Wait. The thing is, it's not a proven mechanic. That's the thing. It might be the case, but there must be like someone that actually put in the effort to research this. I want to have a 60-page paper released on this, if it's true or not. I need that. Can we not have a content creator doing this? I would like to count that FGO is safe for the unit gacha. I never save. I just skip banner that I don't like, and I got a lot of unit I wanted. That's how I would play it. I would only pull for the ones I want. Just a few days back, I got the new SSR on GP in a multi and 5 singles, and prior to that, I used 600 SQ for some middle scene. It's gacha just a matter of luck, or if you don't have like money. I saved up 1.2 million friends points during Neurofest over the summer and then rolled. Got so many CEs and freezer servants I managed to get lots of pen plus. Was able to use all the Cs to max level my Black Rail. Nice. I want to do that actually as well, to use all the friend points, but people told me I need to wait for the event. Good. So, can you... Is this like the okay. So, predicted date. So, this is out, this is out, this is out. We are not in May anymore. Time has passed. Okay. So, here we can see how accurate this actually is. But is this only for the new characters coming out? So we're currently in September, right? And so I don't see Saber Musashi yet. So how accurate would this truly be? Mr. Streamer, to show examples, would you be opposed to me directing people towards clips I've made of the mechanic I'm speaking of? I mean, you can post in the link. If people want to watch it, they can certainly watch that. To min-max it, it is better to use friend points when limited low rarity servants are available, like Nook. Wait, to min... Okay. There's some newer ones like the Musashi banner that are new. Okay. Okay, so there are some minor differences. But like those that are here will appear guaranteed. Good. Good. Characters I desperately would want is this girl. That is the only Tamu I'm missing. I would love to get her. She's so good. Wow, she is. I need to get her. This essentially is by far the best though. It's kind of sad that it's like every single one is downgrade. Maybe the second one, the second one is also downgrade. I want the rice omelets. That would be so nice. I love them. That was, like when I was in Japan, I don't think there was any other food that I ate more than the rice omelet. Rice omelets are so good. Like that shit is amazing. But like, I love that. That is such an amazing design. So Tamo Cat is someone I desperately would want. Other than that, Noctris, or whatever her name is, would be also fine. This girl here. But I'm not really desperately wanting her. All of them I don't give a shit about. All of them I don't give a shit about. Nobunaga, she's cute. Do I want her? She's too lolly for me. Not desperately wanting her either. This is Okita Assassin. Yeah, maybe Okita Assassin is someone I would consider getting. Yeah, but like this is... When is this? This is in November. No, yeah, November. That's in a while. Oh, in December is Scotty. Okay. Scotty as well, and I don't know her. Who is she? Ooh. Ooh. Why is she just a 4-star? Wait, she's amazing. Okay, I like her. So, besides Summer Musashi, right? That Assassin Okita and Scotty. Those are the three I would want. Like, those are the three I would like to get. Let's see if now here is next year's banner. I mean, next year, this is probably too far from in the future. We get Korean Sky of Dark. Like, I will definitely try my best to do that. This one, this is certainly gonna be a task I have to accomplish. The thing is, when I look at her, I love Korean Skya. I just... All of those outfits I don't like that much. I don't know. It's kind of sad. I love Korean Skya. I love how she looks. But her outfits are just not that cool. Sad, man. I kinda would want her. I will most likely try to pull her. But she's so much worse. looking than like Echo and Sky of Light. In my opinion. It is what it is. Still, maybe that's Scotty. Maybe that's Scotty. Like, I love that Scotty. She's so great in this one. Look at how cool she is. Outfit 2 grew on me. Love outfit 1, and outfit was like favorite since Wild Girls. Let's just say for Korean Sky of Dark, the first outfit is okay. I kinda like the second. The second is okay. That's definitely the best one. The third I don't like at all. It's just nothing anymore what I like about Korean Sky or like Tamamo design. And so that's kinda sad. Also, what does it say here? No Koyan Sukaya. Okay, makes sense. What does this one mean? Probably too small to read. Can anyone tell me like how this one is pronounced? But like, this one here means no Koyanskaya. Wait! I can think. I'm almost more than able to think, so that means dark, right? So that means probably Yami no Koyanskaya. Right? Probably it's Yami no Koyanskaya. How wrong am I about this assumption? Also, let's just use first my Morgan, and then we're gonna hope that there's gonna be a boss fight for this one. And I can present to you like how amazing that Musashi is gonna be. Current Sky of Light is better for me too. Current Sky of Light is just like the first outfit is so cool. The second outfit is also fine. The third outfit is also not my style. Probably she's called Current Sky of Darkness. Yes. So Yami means darkness based on my Japanese knowledge. Like if you watch Black Clover, right? The main, the guild leader is also called Yami. Yoru means night based on my knowledge. Dark God Korean Skya. Is it? It might be. It's not Yamigami, right? Like if you say God, God means Gami. So I would say based on my knowledge, God of Darkness or Dark God would for me mean Yamigami. If I'm not too wrong about that. Based on my Yu-Gi-Oh! Expertise, I can confirm that Yami means darkness. Yay! At least I remember a little bit. I've been trying my best to learn Japanese. I really want to master the language. It's just so cool. It's just so cool if you can watch anime without subtitles. I've been doing that on K-On! It's just so great. Also, I want to show you guys this. Damage. What do you think the damage is? That is a MP5. Level 120. Saber Musashi. I am very aware. My Musashi will not deal that much damage. But when I see this, without the Black Grail, I'm getting very, very attracted to those numbers. Yami no Gami. Yami, something like that. Kuro just means black, yes. Kuro is like the color. Kuro, Aka, Aoi. What do I know? Midori. What is yellow? It's not Gin, right? Gin is gold. It might be, I don't know, maybe it's the same. Jeez, I know, I'm aware. My Musashi Saber, if I were to get her today, will not be that good. Here's the mechanic shining getting Musashi. Also dumb! Welcome to stream, how are you doing? Good. We might do polls. You gotta increase. Just to let you know, you gotta increase that bitrate on your game when you're streaming a bit more. Just a bit more. It was off my phone. There. Ah, you can see, yeah, you can see the phone thing here.
Oh my god. You can't be serious right now. Oh my god.
You should apply for a role at Family Guy. With like as a random NPC with that, like I feel like a random NPC having that love, people would love this. Have you ever tried? Maybe they have a spot for you. But it actually looks like a very, like it might be working. It might be. I don't know. Like I said this with the assumption that this is not your genuine love. I can't imagine you would actually, like, if you find something genuinely hilarious that you pull out the love. That'd be wild to me. I don't. Is this like how you actually would love? Some people have said you love like Peter Griffin or Seth Rogen. It reminded me of like just a random person in Family Guy laughing. By the way, did this count? For the rank up quest? Yes, it did. Now we need to just finish this one off. And we have 40 pulls for a banner I didn't even expect to pull on. And we get Summer Musashi. 40 pulls as well. Whoever made the video, you're watching. Wait. Whoever made the video, you're watching. I don't know about that. I don't think so. Sometimes, yeah, that's natural love. Wait, is this actually your natural? That's wild. I imagine if you are at workplace, right? And like let's just assume you work at as a server, right? And a customer would give you a joke, and you would put out this love. I would assume some might think you're sarcastic about this. Peru, thank you so much for the 2 subs. And you absolutely broke the sub thing. Thanks so much for the 2 subs. It somehow didn't trigger correctly. From my experience, sons will somehow copy their father's love. What if this father sarcastically loved like this, and so now this is what they love. This is how they love. That's the reason. Imagine. I've noticed that I'm sometimes a spitting image of my father. This is so wrong for me. I'm like a spitting image of my mother as a dude. Thanks for the gift subs. One Peru, I really appreciate for the very generous subs. I really do. How should I play this? We can. I'm gonna reload cards, hope for buster cards. We're gonna use those. And I think we have enough damage if we were to crit to not use Noble Fantasy and get through this. Yeah, should be easy. I resemble my mom more as well, but I love some from my dad. I don't know where my loves are from. I don't think I copy with my loves my parents. Or I copy it. No one does intentionally, right? But like, I don't know. I don't even know how I love. Like there's like the small loves that I have once in a while. But there's like, if I love from my heart, right? And I've always I grasp from air because I barely have any oxygen left. Those loves are sometimes pretty damn cringe. Also, just realized something I fucked up. Or did I? Let's just do this. You can thank me with a friend request on FGO. That's good. So you paid your way in my friend list. I am not opposed to it. You can certainly add me. Usually it is required with friend points for the people that just joined for the friend list, but for like 3 subs in total, how can I say no? We are going. I want to play Lostbelt today. I think we're gonna play Lostbelt later. But I want to have 40 pulls for Summer Musashi. I just need to. Careful, Cesith. This is how mafia works. I mean, they just haven't figured out how business works, right? Just to give you a rough idea, I'd suck a dick for 3 subs. Just honest with you. So it's normal, right? I mean, 3 subs are 3 subs, guys. Without, like, with the cut of Twitch away, that's like $10, guys. Think about it. That's almost enough to buy a cheap game on Steam. And that's almost enough to get the Game Pass on Xbox. For a month. Like, think about it. Very, very generous prices. Like, I can't wait. Eventually, I will go to a convention, right? I will just go to a convention, right? And the random dude is gonna hand me $10 and it's like, okay, where's now my dick suck? That's gonna happen eventually. And the question is, am I a man of my words or not? There will be the time to show if I am or not. I would like to think so that I am, but I maybe have to quit there. I'm just wondering why it's so big. I think the light works. Not sure if that buff was made while this thing was. Is there? Okay. I have no clue what that meant. Also, as for the friend list, I will give you the code. Perwood, just let me know what your in-game name is, so I know I will add the right person. Cesith said the $10 ain't gonna earn themselves. Hey, it works. It's just like, I just want to give you an idea. You can suck about, I've no personal experience with that, but I'd say you can suck 15 dicks per hour. If each of those 15 dicks gives you $10, that is a net income per hour, $150. That is an amazing net income. So think about it. If you can pull off a business out of that, I mean, why not? Like, you're gonna make a lot more money than all of your friends. Also, here's my friend code, Perbu, and you're absolutely amazing, Perbu. 2 other subs, and my alerts are just not working. Maybe I can re-trigger them. Stream elements? That's so generous of you. I want to have some kind of sound. Usually for the gift sub, I have like a special animation, but apparently like it broke. And it's not fixed yet. Sure, my in-game name is Umbreon. Perfect. I just realized. Perf Umbreon. It's based on the Pokemon, right? Can I trigger this now? That is that. By the way, that's the same. It is not. It's not working. We don't have sound for that alert. What a scam!
Thank you.
That's also again the old one. That's the old one. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's the old one. That shouldn't be a new one. I tried to re-trigger them, but it doesn't work. Scuffness. So hopefully it should have reset it. Now I should be able to add them. 5 requests. Game Boy is also there. Pokers. Okay. I'm gonna check in a few minutes later. Can you show friend code one more time? I think I sent it in. Wait a second. I will send it in the chat again. This is my friend code. You can just copy paste this one. Don't worry about it. I only have to beat a few more stages, right? 2 more and then I'm able to do pulls. And then it's the time. The legendary time of finally able to obtain my own Saber Musashi. I've been very stoked about that. I love the design of the stage, by the way. It looks so good with like the sea there. Also, what else? Is there anything else that I want to talk about that I thought like was very interesting as a topic? I recently had a sponsorship for the people that haven't seen on YouTube, where I released an entire dedicated video for the sponsorship, and so that was a thing that we had. I have to say, like, I talked very highly of the game. The game was Kimono Friends Kingdom. It's the game I played on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, I would be very grateful if you maybe check it out and maybe even download the game to support the video and just my streams. Because this is how a man can pay his bills. And even though I was sponsored, I genuinely thought of it as like one of the better gacha games that have recently released. It is genuinely like a really good game. I was honestly surprised they sponsored me. Still, the video is doing like one of the worst videos I've ever released of all time. But it's like actually, it's like no doubt, it's like an actual good game. If you haven't played it, it's like it's more than decent. No more gacha game for me, please. It's fine. I know if you play already a few gacha games, you don't want to start more. But for the people that are looking for something fresh and new, the cool thing about that game is actually, which I think was such an interesting thing. Kimono Friends is a game that is every single character, right, is based on a real animal. So it's like, for example, a Chinese monkey, like a dolphin or whatever. And you can see like how close they are to extinctions if you read the character's lore. You can read like where the inhabitant is of that animal. It's like it has such a cool educational value by just playing the game. And if you read the story, it actually the animals in that kingdom behave like the animal would behave like in the real world if it was a human. And so it is a pretty well made game. That you actually like get to see like some cool features. If I wouldn't have known better, I would have assumed the game was made by WWF, was like the animal organization that wants to save animals. So I thought that was like a really cool twist they added there. That you actually get to learn like cool things. I'm on 2 FGOs, Nikkei and Blue Archer, which is already a lot. It's already way too much, let's be honest. Now playing FGO and SR daily feels already like it's too much for me. The reason why it is feeling too much for you, it's because it doesn't have the feature that Kimono Friends Kingdom has. I'm not sponsored to say this right now, but like the feature that I genuinely think every gacha game that is out there should have this feature. You can select the amount of runs you want to do, right? And then it will do, for that stage you selected, right? It will do like 3 runs in like 3 seconds. So it will skip you having to play the grind and stuff. You can just like click do 3 runs. In 3 seconds the runs are done. And all your stamina is used up. So technically, you would have to just play the like enter the game, start the auto run, blitz was it called there, and then it's like done in a matter of seconds. Every gacha game should have this. Oh, Blashev has that. Yes, there's many other gacha games that have this. But this is easily one of the best features any gacha game needs to implement. It would save so much time, because no one enjoys mindless grinding the same stage over and over again. Like, as FGO is like the prime example. Why do you have to do in Nerofest the same stage 50,000 times when it wasn't fun the third time you did it? Like, it would be great if this is like the norm that every gacha game has this. It would save so much time. It doesn't hurt anyone. It just makes it so much more comfortable to play the game and gives you so much more time for other things. That's really good. HSR also has it, but FGO grind is crazy. Does Honkai Star Rail has it? They haven't. It wasn't in the game in the start of the game. I'm very sure of it. But like just a blaze feature that you can just click how many runs you want to do, and in a matter of seconds it's over, should be the norm. Like, no doubt about this. It should just be how it is for every gacha game. They have some of the best waifus characters in story after all. Yes, FGO in general, I would say character design is really outstanding. Story is really, like, I haven't read the prime of the story, so I can't really comment on that yet. But like, I really love the variety of characters they have. I have to say, sometimes, for my taste, a few characters are a bit too degenerate. But all in all, it's like very, very high quality. Also, I think we can one-turn this one. Let's do this. Should I go with double Noble Phantasm? It just wastes time, but I think it should be fine. Who gives a shit? One reason they can't do that in FGO is because you can have a ton of apples as Q and just do an insane amount of runs. But how I say this, why would it hurt them? They have this event out in the thought that people grind the shit out of it and spend hours of hours grinding that stage. Most people plan to use 50 apples for this and use those 50 apples. So if they were just be able to do this just in a matter of seconds, they will most likely not grind more because they know they have enough and save those apples for the next event. And if not, the events are out for a reason, they are there to farm. It shouldn't, the limit for you to farm how many you can farm shouldn't be the time that you have in your life. It should be how much stamina you have, in my opinion. FGO also have a lot of artists make servants. Recently, I've seen a Twitter post from Namie. Right? Namie has drawn a recent FGO character, right? But let me clarify this. I love Namie's works. Oh, I mean, Namie's designs and drawings are cool. It's not my favorites, but I really love Namie, how she behaves and how she treats the character she has drawn. You can see out of every artist I've seen, you can truly feel how much passion goes into the creation of one of her designs. Namie FGO. I don't know if she drew a character or it's just an artwork. But she has recently drawn something. It might have been an illustration. Oh, it was a CE, yes. Namie draw a few CEs, command codes. Yes, she draw recently a CE. That's what I've seen. Exactly. It was a CE, wasn't the character, was a CE. But that's so cool about FGO, that they have all the cool different CEs. There's many cool CEs in general in FGO that I kind of think it's sad that it's not a character you can play. Wait a second. Enhance. Craft Essence. So for this one, for example, there's one of my favorite designs of Rin of all time. Sadly, I will never get to see her vert in a sprite or in an animation or whatever. But this design is just so good, man. It's just so amazing. This is, wow, one of the best designs I've seen. It's not the butt one. I'm a boot guy, not a butt guy. I'm still waiting for the day when Namie gets to design the servant. Yes. She's just such a lovely person. Out of all artists I've seen, she doesn't have my favorite art. Easily not. There's other designers, artists I like their work more of. But there's no artist I would want to support more than her. Because I've not seen anyone being more passionate and loving about their work than her. And so Namie is quite an inspiration if it comes to content creation to me as well. Do I even have Rin Butt? This is not Rin Butt. They have so many Rin illustrations. But Rin as a character is not a thing, right? Her normal form. The black rail is so well drawn, by the way. Can you even check who draw those CEs? I love this one as well. This is a cool one. And there was the Ilya one that I also really, really loved. Question is, wait. Give me a second. We are gonna go with this. Where's the Ilya one? This one. This one I like a lot as well. It's such a beautiful design. Tap and hold to go into the details. Ooh. Hiroshi Hirayama, I don't know. I never heard of them. So who draw the legendary Rin? The Rin one, the legendary one. Because I really love that design. You should. There should be detail tabs when you open CE. Good. I need to know who drew Rin like that. Who is the mastermind behind this? Anmi. I've never heard of them. But this is not the butt. I don't have the butt one. Do I? Is this the butt? This is not the butt Rin. I don't see much butt of it. This is the stomach titty exposed Rin. And Metrif is just Amazing. I love Midriff. You already have an emote. Youth. Other than that, there's some cool CEs. Like, especially summer CEs also are very cool as well. But I think with that, we're going for the summoning session. And hope the best that we're not getting disappointed today. What is a good soundtrack that we have? I want to have something super hype. Let's just go with this one. One of my childhood anime that I watched like 3 times. Good! Summer Musashi! Can we do it? It's a shame, I don't know, I probably don't need her, but it's fine. We have 40 pulls. 40 pulls and a dream. Also, what the fuck is this? Oh, this looks cool. 4-star. Can we see the details? Increase the amount of mastery XP gained by 50 when a quest is cleared. Oh, that's decent, I guess. And here we're just gonna select those because we have the least of them. And so with that, it's time. I always say summer. I don't know why summer. Redrop is still a good royal icing and 4 godlike. Don't forget about my friend request. Yes, friend request. Let's just do that first. Here we have Umbreon. Accept. Yes. There we go. And so with that, let's just see. Is it time? Are we getting lucky with our pulls? Saber Musashi. I always want to say summer. With a fire track. But a little bit loud. Can we pull it off? Let's just start with the signals. It's highly unlikely for us to get her. But my luck has been amazing. And I've always got the things within the 20 pulls. And if I don't get super lucky, I usually get like 5 CCs and stuff like that. So, mage, nothing we want. By the way, I'm only using females. So any male I get, for the people that are new here, trash. We might even sell them at one point. I am not using males. Never gonna happen. You on a roll so far, yes. It's too early to break the roll. Lancer. We just want Saber to appear. Saber is what we want. But I'm mostly excited about the 6 stars. Because about the temples. Because my temple luck has been out of the world for so long. Even if those males make you waifus better, I don't freaking care. The only males I want is the ones I would fuck. I said this way too honest, but like, Astolfo is fine. I would want Astolfo. Come on. One, not a minimum roll. Like, that'd be disappointing. I see you use this career sometime though. But there's a girl within. That's fine. Nothing against some threesome. 5 to CE? My fight, like, I'm the CE king. So many have said, like, so many 5 CEs I've gotten is wild. Like, I get so many. Was it? I don't even know if it was a good one. Also, NX! We're doing pulls for Summer Musashi. Come on. We pray! There's no way. Okay, who is it? I didn't want her. I mean, it's fine. I didn't want her though, but it's a girl, so it's fine. Okay, I'm not complaining about that. A 4-star is a 4-star. Not the highest rate. Come on. Both Astolfo versions and Rama are only fuckable dudes in FGO. I'm fine with that. We love Astolfo. Hey, we have already, like, this is already a great pull. A 4-star and a 5-star CE. No, a 5-star CE and a 4-star. And another 4-star CE. So I'm fine with that. Also, so welcome to the stream. It's not Summer on the radar. Yeah, I always say Summer Saber. Summer Musashi. Ignore that. It's normal. It's normal. But that's fine. So, please, Saber Musashi, come home. Show the people I can get lucky as well. Okay, show the people I can still be lucky. That my streak of not being disappointed is not ending. Are you winning? I mean, it is a great pull so far. Like, nothing, no complaints here. As long as it's not minimum roll. Another one of these, I have so many of them. Also fine with that. I don't think I've ever used them though. Forces EEs come in. I don't know. You shouldn't get that many 5CCEs, right? Just for the clarification. My 5CCE luck has always been wild. The thing is, I don't know if they're good. So, I want to check if they are some kind in some way decent. Gain 8 critical stars for each turn. That's pretty good, right? That's not... I mean, it is... Yes, I don't think it's bad. And begin battle with MP charge of 40. And increase MP charge by 2 levels when using... This is good because we have had this head multiple times before. Both of them are good, I think. Usable. And this I have so many times. Increase MP strength by 10% and begin battle with MP charge of 30. We can maximally beat this one easily. So that's fire. Good pull. So I'm fine with this. As long as we're not getting minimum rolls, I am good. There's no way, right? I saw goals. There's no way. Ah, oh, not another one. Ah, MP2. Ha, sad. I get it. It's fine. Like, I'm not asking for too much. The character isn't bad. But still, we're here for the 5-star. Something tells me we get K-Scope. I'm calling it right now. This is nothing but another case, but my first K-Scope. This is what I'm calling. Berserker, okay. Is she on raid up? Yeah, she is on raid up. She is the one that turned people to pick. Oh, yeah, I think I used her last stream. Oh, I used her once before, maybe 2 streams ago. Not another caster, please. It's fine. I want to see sabers. Popping out sabers. Give me Summer Musashi. I'd be very, very happy about a Summer Musashi. That's a Forces E imaginary number. I don't think I've had that one before. That is a beautiful illustration. I love this one. Come on. That's another Forcer CE. We take these as well. I've been getting that dude so many times. It's wild. So, 5-star. It can happen. Believe. Assassin. Not caring about that either. Tears is a good bird. Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, it's not a dude. I'm not complaining. I shouldn't be complaining. Come on. Give me a character. Give me a Saber character. Not assassins. Or at least Spark and Pieko and Skya for no apparent reason. Come on. You can do it. At least some K-Scope. K-Scope, please. I'd be more than happy with a K-Scope. Saber? Spark? Deals. Ha, fuck the dude. Possible. Still possible. You shouldn't give up before we have seen the last pull. I think there's now one more. Or maybe that's it. One more, come on. I mean, it's fine, I guess. I guess, if she's not too bad. But I want Summer. Oh, not Summer. Why do you always say Summer? Give me Musashi. I don't have many pulls. I've been getting so lucky recently. I know I don't deserve to get her. I'm aware of it. But for the sake of content, think about the content game. I can make a video about it. You will get exposure in exchange. If you were to give me now good pulls. I'm telling you, it's a great deal. It's a win-win for both of us. I assume this one is raid up, right? If we get this one max MLB, that would be amazing. Character. A rider, a Stolfo, it's not. What do you mean he's good to make an infection love him? Saber Gills is literally the worst Saber. Okay, good to know. It doesn't matter. I would have never been happy about him anyway. Mate, I'm always afraid that I see a Spark. A Spark would destroy my day. Also, this might actually be a minimum roll. I don't know in how long this would be my first minimum roll. We haven't gotten a single 4-star... Wait, we have gotten a 5-star CE. So this doesn't count as a minimum roll already, right? Mandricardo. I don't think I've ever seen anyone using this dude as well. Come on. Give me luck! Force the CE? Can we get characters? And not just the 4-star here? Like maybe the 5-star? Just a little bit. Another 4-star, that's fine. I know I'm not getting minimum rolls. Minimum rolls on this account is just not possible. You can't do this. But please, be a 5-star. Spark, Astolfo. I think Uchi Wakamaru is fine. But Saber. We want TD Saber. Come on. I know you want to come home as well. Archer. Like the question is, if it would Spark, it's completely random what comes out of there, right? It could be anything. So this might be last. Is it SCE? It is one and it's a 3-star. Ah! I hope we would get her. We have only one temple left. It's not bad. It's 2 4-star CE and 1 5-star CE. But my lucky streak has to end somewhere. And if this is where it has to end, then it will be the place where it ends. It's fine. Sometimes you're not winning every time. And that's fine. It's fine. You're not supposed to win every time. So please. I've come to my senses. Now I think I'm worthy of getting Saber Musashi, right? Gilgamesh is cool. Like, that would be one of the dudes that looks like a dude that I would most likely be using eventually. Like, I have nothing against Shoda. Come on! I saved so long! Like, a week. Come on! Don't be... If you end on the minimum roll, that'd be so frustrating. But we don't always have to get what we want, right? So it's fine. That's the 4-star. I don't think we had this one. So it's likely on the road to be a minimum roll, which we did have that before actually. It's likely on the minimum roll road. It's fine. I've gotten so lucky. It was bound to happen that we were not getting lucky at one point. So it's totally fine. I have already given up on Summer Musashi. I would certainly don't expect a surprise now from her. Don't spark, please. Thank you. Shoda Gil is good on budget. Ooh, come on. Saber. I'm gonna be a Shoda for you if you come home. Duke of Flame. I don't know if I had this one before. I had it before as well. I had so many of these. Not a minimum roll. It's fine. We get Ilya as well. Because why not? We get good forces CEs. But it doesn't look like we're getting Saber. Sad. Very sad. But it is what it is. We're ending on a rider. Medusa is fire. We love Medusa. Come on. It's about to end any moment. And I know it's not going to be something, yeah. We got a good amount of CEs. But it is a failure in my book. With that, no Summer Musashi has come home. A good amount again of CEs. But it is what it is. 1 5-star CE and 4 4-star CE. Nuke increase MP strength by 20%. Increase MP charge by 2 levels when using MP 1 time for yourself. One more pull left. But we need those rainbow apples. I don't think I can buy the summoning tickets, can I? Are we coping for the last single? We can cope for the last single. I think it was Mana Prison. In 2 days. In 2 days. Cope patch. So we're going with the last single. It's not much, but it's fine. There is a There's a small chance. A very small chance. 2 more singles. We need the rainbow apples, otherwise I can't farm anymore. We can do 1 pull at the end of the stream as well. It's not gonna happen. If it would happen, that'd be wild. No way, right? No way. Ah! That would have been a story. A story I would have been happy about to tell everyone. But it is what it is. We have 3 golden apples now. Or rainbow apples as we like to call them. And with that, with not having a summer Musashi, we will start today with the lovely Lostbelt Anastasia. Now he was not Guild's Masters, 1 out of that. The CE that is good versus Humanoid plus Guild's Master was not paid. You can buy some tickets the first of every month. Oh, okay. That I didn't know that it's like this. Good to know. But it's time. We are gonna be reading Lostbelt. Let's just pray the first servant we're summoning this Lostbelt is not gonna be Saber Musashi, otherwise I'm gonna be mad. She doesn't need to do this to me then. Lostbelt 1. First time for me reading as a newer player of the game. Is it gonna work? What is gonna happen? Like, we're still like trying to... If you don't know what happened recently, we are stranded in this like Arctic storm where we have like pretty much nothing, but we found a village with like random animal looking things in there, and now we have nothing to defend ourselves with. We have built a glider, or whatever it's called, a skite, something like that, right? And we have finished it. We drew a PP on it, and now we're trying to put it into the sky, get a lightning to charge our suitcase that can summon a servant, and if we successfully pull this off, we're having a servant to our side. That's the plan. There are a lot more people, I mean, Yaga here than I thought there'd be. We probably get discovered, right? Oh, what was that sound? Did we read this already? Let's go check it out. We read this already, right? Let's try to keep it out of sight. We've read this already. Was here someone? Hold it. What do you think you're doing? There is no possible way anything good can come off this. This is new. I remember reading this. Holmes, Da Vinci are completely oblivious to the concept of risk management. What's the matter? According to the memories I possess, this is how they always do things. Like they say, knowing what the right thing to do and actually doing it are 2 different things. I just remember I heard that sound before. It looks like someone's handing out food. They're certainly all lining up for something. I don't think I read that, but I remember the sound. Oh. Oh. Hello again, my little Yaga. Congratulations on making it through another day in your miserable lives. It's so sad, isn't it? No matter how hard you work, you can never save enough to live on, or hope to move up in the world. I'd fuck Koyanskaya. But don't worry, your cute little guardian angel is here to help you all survive this horrible, dark, dreadful blizzard. Don't be shy. Come on up and take a gander at my goods. Goods, yeah. There's nothing NFS service can't provide, whether it's food, medical equipment, or even prohibited goods like alcohol. This place in Russia and alcohol is forbidden. I refuse to believe this is actually true. There is no universe where this is actually possible. There is no Russian, even if it is about to go extinct, entire Russia, that they will forbid themselves to drink alcohol. That's not gonna happen. That's for like forbidding them to drink water. It's not no way. That's that voice. The one positively dripping with honey atop ice cream, atop even more honey. Both of you, hide. Watch from as far away as possible. Don't approach under any circumstance. Not unless you want to get ensnared in a honey trap like I was. You got it. They would rather first to death, yeah. Welcome to TV Kuyanskaya's Honey Kitchen. Now open for business. Hello and good day, all you lovely customers. I do appreciate your knowingly patronizing my cruel little establishment. Oh yes, I know all about how hard it is being a Yaga. You have very hard bodies, so hardy, in fact, that you are practically immortal. But the trade-off is that you burn through calories at a tremendous rate. Really, you all die so comically quickly if you aren't eating about 10 times the food a good old-fashioned human would. You might say that Yaga traded the ability to survive extreme cold for truly shoddy energy efficiency. At any rate, if you don't get enough calories here in Russia, you'll soon end up a Yaga cycle. But fortunately, I've come all the way from Yaga Moscow to help you survive. Now come on, don't be shy. Empty your wallets and prostrate yourself before your savior goddess. Wait. Prostrate yourself before your savior goddess. Savior goddess is how you pronounce it. So the human's back again. Ah, damn it, how dare she mock us like that? Hey, shut your damn mouth. Don't you want her to start making us jump through impossible hoops again? At least pretend like you're grateful to her. Yeah, her methods aside, at least she is helping us. Hi, Miss Kuyanskaya. I'd like to buy some food, please. Is everything okay, Miss Kuyanskaya? How sad, how truly sad. You Yaga must have piroshki for brains. How could you possibly forget the proper way to address your owner? It's Mistress Kuyanskaya, peons. I swear your minds are as frail as your bodies are ugly. You're completely lacking in tact and have not a shred of decorum. What an unshingly dull world you ended up with. I don't know what your leader was thinking combining humans with animals. Now you've lost the innocence of the latter and the brains of the former. All you've managed to do is cancel out the good bits of either half of you, and you have the gall to call yourself a new species just because you can barely eke out an existence here. What a joke. What was that? Hey you, I don't care if you're one of Tsar's personal guard. Nobody talks about us like that and gets away with it. So, the law is gonna progress by we try to save that random dude and we get fucked, right? What can we do? We have no servant. How are we not getting fucked? I don't know. The Tsar himself came up with our demonic beast transformation policy. The only ones who would criticize it are traitorous rebel. Gah! Oh, no way. I need to talk like a sadistic mistress. I need to learn this. Like, how would... Okay. Bad idea. I want to check on YouTube how a sadistic mistress would talk. But I realized if I were to search this on the internet on how a mistress would talk, I'll most likely would end up on a porno. So I might not be searching the internet on how a mistress would talk. So, can I pull it off somehow? How would a mistress talk? See, what happens when you oppose me, Teehee? So sorry about that, my little Yaga. My pretty are special, you see. There's a type to direct instantly if I get just the tiniest bit upset, so be sure you watch your language. But, Miss Kuyanskaya, just now, you were the one who was... Oh, do my ears deceive me? Or are you the second brave moron with a death wish of the day? No, I'm not. Forgive me, Mistress Kuyanskaya. There we go. I know you could do it. Now, let's get down to business. Since your food shortage problem keeps getting worse, I made sure to bring twice as much as last time. Go ahead and load up anything you like. There's plenty to go around. Alright, as long as we can get more food. What's with these prices? Yes. 1 cut of Kirsha shoulder meat. That will be 500,000 rubles, please. That's 3 times more expensive than last time, and we couldn't even afford the prices back then. This isn't helping us at all. It used to be as long as we obeyed the Tsar laws, he provided us with the minimum amount of food we needed to get by. But now we have to trade everything we've got down to our furniture, and if that wasn't enough, the prices keep going up every damn time. Wait, it's okay, you just gotta collect the catch a wild Mewtwo and use the Triforce. Then my mobile keyboard acting up. Mobile keyboard is sometimes, yeah. You're bleeding us dry for everything we've got. Why are you torturing us like this? Oh my, I don't like the sound of that. See? Is that an incipient riot I smell? Well, as it's our personal god, I guess I better do something about that. Perhaps we can try another way of resolving the food shortage then. Wait, please, we're not looking for trouble. It's just with prices like this, you might as well be telling us to die. Could you at least put them back to what they were last time? That way, we should just be able to pay. Please, Mistress Koyanskaya, I'm begging you. I wish I could help you. Now that you're finally wising up a bit, but I can't. Sorry. What you see is what you get. Prices may go up, but they never go down. That's NFS Service most sacred rule. Besides, you aren't really incapable of paying, right? And you've still got room to fall back on. Room to? I promise you. This is all we... Don't be silly. You've still got plenty to work with. You've stamina to waste arguing with me. You've got plenty of nerve letting the rebels remain at large. And you've got a friend right there next to you. One with just as much money to spare. Isn't it the Yaga way to take from the weak? Besides, I said it myself earlier. There's more than one way to resolve a food shortage. Huh? Huh? So that's the way it is. Since you're telling us this, and you're one of the Tsar's personal guard, if I go along with this, I won't get in trouble. Nope, I couldn't care less about silly ethical concerns your pathetic little things might have. So, just telling us to kill each other. Sounds reasonable. Don't tell me you're just giving up. Come on, give her a piece of your... Don't worry, I'm not. Let's go get us some food together. You, me, and your money. Betrayal. Death. Murdering. And now he's just a bit richer. Why would they do something like that? At least with what being spotted, Koyanska just left with the wagon. Along with the Yaga who collapsed when their friends struck them in the head. Mush, Cesith, neither of you looks or sound particularly happy about that. Tell me what happened as briefly as possible. Broad strokes will suffice. Koyanskaya, the woman who attacked Chaldea, was distributing food to the townspeople. But it looked like she was charging them prices high enough that she was really just extorting them. Eventually, the Yaga started arguing with her about the prices, and then a fight broke out among them, and only half of the Yaga there ended up receiving food. I think the other half were probably killed by their friends. Do you mean the one who acquired food did so by stealing their friends' money? Even if she was attempting to reduce their numbers, that is needlessly cruel way to do so. I suppose culling half their population will help the remaining Yaga, as there are fewer mouths to feed. But, hey, spare me your cold-blooded analysis. The point is that Koyanskaya is a demon dressed as a woman. Cesith, as of right now, you have no means of fighting back. Had Koyanskaya seen you just now, you would be dead, just like I would be. Of course, in my case, I turned a few of the objects into go with my goof punch makeshift. But a pale imitation of a mage like yourself would have no chance. Lucky for you, you had some shadows to cover in that suited you far better than a mage outfit. Why didn't they just use Uber Eats? That's a great question. Why didn't they just use Uber Eats? I would have delivered a pizza if I were them. Probably their Wi-Fi isn't too good. Maybe they have to also catch a lightning to get enough electricity to call Uber Eats. Why don't they just like go into the supermarket, right? Why don't they just buy the food somewhere else in the supermarket or something? I feel like it would be way more reasonable than killing your friends. In that sense, you did well. I understand you must feel. So you did well to stay out of sight regardless. Director Gandalf. Still, what a wretched stroke of luck to learn that Koyanskaya is here in Russia as well. I'll say, and on top of that, she's a servant. These magical energy readings don't lie. She must have been concealing that in Chaldea, but she obviously isn't bothering to here. She must be working for Kishtaria, for the cryptors. So that priest is most likely a servant as well, since he was clearly there as Koyanskaya's equal. Nonetheless, what is it, Mr. Holmes? Are you concerned by the outstanding lack of judgment that Mr. Goldorf showed by unwittingly bringing both Koyanskaya and Father Kotomine to Chaldea? I'll have you know, I'm the greatest victim in all this. Have you not a shred of consideration? Cesith, what have you been teaching your charge that makes her think it's okay to back talk to her superiors? That she said it with such a straight face and only makes it all the more painful. If Koyanskaya told you to starve for her, would you do it? In exchange for services, it is certainly up to debate. In Koyanskaya's case, you're quite right, Miss Killer writes. Goldorf was undoubtedly lax in his vetting, but so too was Koyanskaya's disguise, immaculate. But the same cannot be said for Father Kotomine. He was a genuine churchy man, sent in official capacity by the Holy Church. As such, Goldorf had no advance contact with him, and thus cannot be held liable. I believe Father Kotomine and Koyanskaya must have first met in person on the boat to Chaldea in the Antarctic. Isn't that right, Director? Yes, that's right, I'm quite certain. He was absent for most of my meetings. In which case, they must have executed their plan via a network we had no means of learning about. We shall need to investigate that soon. Now then. Da Vinci, Mrs. Cesith, although ultimately, there is something else I must tell you. There is no man by the name of Kotomine Kire employed by the Holy Church. Or at least there was no one by that name on the 2019 list of the church clergy. Really? Then does that mean the name of Kotomine Kire is made up? No. Someone by that name did in fact exist at one time in Fuyuki. However, according to Chaldea's records, Kotomine died in Japan in 2004. So basically he's a zombie. Has that sucker punching backstabber actually been a pseudo-servant all this time? Or maybe he's a servant that's basically a heroic spirit, possessing a dead body. Well, is that sort of thing even possible? I wish I could say for certain that there is no heroic spirit who can be summoned using a dead body as its host. But it is very possible that there are certain heroic spirits who may only be summonable as pseudo servants using a dead body for a host. However, this information can at least lay that theory to rest. The Holy Church's report says the following. Kotomine Kire's body was completely incinerated at the time of his death, making recovery impossible. In other words, Father Kotomine's body no longer exists, at least not in our world. Does it not only mean it was also never truly found? So couldn't it have just been the case he was hiding somewhere or something? If it was incinerated? Maybe he actually came here from this Russia. That is possible, but at this point this is all it is. We still have far too little information to theorize any further. Well, I thought I smelled something delicious. Do I detect some adorable little rats hiding out in this back alley? I do wish I could let you get away, but now that I've found you, I certainly can't do that. Now can I? Especially not after Kotomini just told me to squash any repulsive insects I happen to find. Oh, we're so fucked in that of it. Hello, my little Chaldeans. Congratulations on making it back alive. I must applaud your luck and sheer tenacity. Master, get back. Oh, look at you, bravely trying to keep your master safe. But you really should know better, Mush. If you're going to act like you can fight, you better be ready for your enemy to call your bluff. Consider your current situation, your abilities, your position. You may be okay with dying yourself. But what about the girl behind you? At times like these, the best thing you can do is throw away your pride and roll over like a dog you are. We'll never roll over for you. I would. Just kidding. It's hilarious seeing you flailing about so desperately, Cesith. Luckily for you, I'm still not done with my work for today, and I like to do one job at a time. So I won't come looking for you until tomorrow. Killing you now would go against my principles. So for today, I'll be generous in letting you go off and your merry way. Besides, I expect that I'll make things more interesting down the road. After all, it's not fair for Kedok to have all the advantage. We should give you at least something of a fighting chance. First you destroyed Chaldea and now you want to pit Senpai against Kedok and the others? Calm down, Mush. But... Foo! Man, I want current guy to step on me. Dark, you're not the only one. Go back in line, man. I'm the first. That's right. I'm going to have you and the cryptors kill each other, Cesith. That's what we've been working towards all this time. It would be a huge disappointment if all the build-up were to fizzle out at the very first cryptor. Good grief, I trust you're listening in, Sherlock Holmes. How could you let them go out without any protection whatsoever? Shouldn't you be way more cautious? If any other servant had been assigned to Russia instead of me, your little journey would be over now. I never thought I would see an enemy servant concerned for her opposition. Although, the other servants, you say? Would you mind giving us more hints while you're at it? What is your true name? Who is your master? How many of you are there? And furthermore, what is the singularity really called? That's more like it. It's not worth crushing you unless you put up a decent fight. You did put over on me back at Chaldea after all. Next time I see you, I'll have to pay you back double. Oh, and unfortunately for you, I won't be offering up any more hints. I've been working my fingers to the bone over the past year to get everything ready. You'll just have to figure out whatever you don't yet know for yourself. Our leader has come from far, far away and is intentionally staying out of the spotlight right now. Why did you torment the Yaga? Oh, that you mean? You can't tell? Just because I'm your enemy doesn't mean I'm an ally to Russia, to Kedok, Semp Lupus. In the end, the Yaga are another branch of human evolution that makes them very much object of hatred for me. Thank you so much for a follow, Tachika. Appreciate that a lot. Hope you'll be enjoying the story and the stream if you haven't heard it already. That makes them very much an object of hatred for me. So I exploit them as brutally and thoroughly as I can. It's my life's work, and I enjoy it and take it seriously. Besides, the whole notion of social structure that exploits the poor was something you humans came up with, wasn't it? Oh, but violence is bad. We don't want that now, do we? I may have made us of military force back at Chaldea, but only because I had no other choice normally. I wouldn't resort to such barbarism. If I'd had a year or so, if I'd had a year or so to carry all this out, I would have made sure you all end up killing each other much more peacefully. Resorting to something as brutish as violence to destroy what you detest is the height of human folly. Your kind brought destruction down upon your own heads. I have no plans to stoop to your level. So there you have it. I won't lay a finger on you. I've already fulfilled His Imperial Majesty, Evan, the Terrible, request to eliminate the biggest threat to Chaldeas. Controlling the operativity now is just a bit of after-sales service. If you're going to fight the scriptor, I'll let him command the operativity instead. So you're saying you have no intention of fighting us here because we're completely powerless? That you're going to let us go because we're not worth your time? That's right. Nice to see you finally understand, Mush. I'm impressed you were able to face the facts you really didn't want to. So I'll tell you what, in honor of that show of earnestness and loyalty, I will let you off the hook this time. Hey, truth be told, I was planning to gobble up both of you right after you'd let your guard down. Wait, that's it? That's the way, Mush Cesith. Don't fight an opponent you can't beat. That's the first law of the jungle. Since you're such smart girls, one thing that impresses me about the story in FGO is you can select either male or female, right? And the text literally says, since you're such smart girls. The entire thing would have been rewritten if you would have chosen a boy, and it would probably say like something, since you're such a smart boy and girl, or something like that. I'll go ahead and make you a promise. If you manage to survive Russia, I'll be sure to fuck you. Wait, no. I'll be sure to come see you again. When I do, we can hash things out. Mano and Mano. I already had hope. Like, sometimes you read what you want to read, right? So, sad there. Keep on scurrying around like the little rats you are until then, okay? I'm an advisor to the cryptors, you see? As long as you keep on your little journey, we will meet again. Enemy servant. Is this really... Wait, is this really the energy signature of a servant? Regardless, I've lost the wicked magical energy signature. I'm sorry, master. I wanted to do something about her, but I couldn't. It's okay, Mash, I couldn't do anything either. I know, but, well... Now that I've calmed down, I have so many questions. Why did she reveal herself to us? It's probably how she gets her kicks. True. A second. I gotta check something. Good. Okay. Someone screamed. What was that scream? This is very bad. I understand how angry both must be on seeing Chaldea's destructor, but I need you both to calm. It seems things have taken a turn for the worse in that town. Make your way back to Pax's house immediately and mind your surroundings. Understood. Okay, master. Let's keep out of sight. Please forgive me. Forgive me. Please. Oh, light of the Tsar. Everyone in this town is a good upstanding Yaga who loves and worships the Tsar. Nobody here would ever think of defying him. I admit that my brother tried to join the rebel army and the opportunity executed him for that. But that has nothing to do with me, and I don't know anything about any mage. The thing is, if it's that desperate of a situation, I'm covered. If a war is about to break out, I would be the first to run. But if it looks that grim without any food and nothing, even I would consider just like immediately go to the rebel army. Like, what other option do you have? Like, either you fight or you die of hunger or by like your own town. They're just never even worth fighting in this town, because you will live in fear of like your friend killing you anytime. So the rebel army is probably the safest spot you can possibly be in. Glory to the Tsar! Glory to the Tsar! As his servant, it is our job to crush the seeds of rebellion quickly before they can take roots. Therefore, we have confiscated your belongings and burned down your house. This is the fate for all who would oppose the emergency prerogative. You can't be serious. We will ask the question, where is this mage? Okay. One question to you guys. Most of you have read the FGO lore, right? I'm genuinely curious. Since it's minus 100 degree, is it physically possible to burn down a house at that degree? I am genuinely curious about this. There is no possible way a flame can possibly survive in minus 100 degree while a blizzard is going, and this is enough to burn down an entire house. Like, unless you have a dragon spying out fire, how would that even be possible? Am I crazy for asking this? There's no way a fire can live and burn down a house like this. We will ask the question, where's the mage? I told you, I don't know any mage. Then that is proof you don't fully understand the glory of the Tsar. Break him, kill him. Ah, no please, I'm begging you. Master. Wait, I know someone. I know someone who defies the Tsar. His name is Paxi. Paxi? The house was full of vodka with which they smuggled. Then it starts to make sense, but only then. It was their secret stash with all the alcohol. Come to think of it, they did seem to be treating him a bit strangely. There's something shady about him, and his father was killed for defying you guys. He's been real flush lately too. He must be selling information to the rebel army. He's the one with traitorous rebel army. Hey, are you kidding me with this shit? Paxi, why'd have to show up now? Who are you calling a traitor? You, everyone knows you're with the rebel army, right guys? You bastard. Then how do you explain that hall? All the town's hunting grounds are sealed off, but you managed to pay your taxes and still had food to spare. That's all the proof we need. Alright, I did my part. So long, Paxi. You're a member of the rebel army. You stand in defiance of the Tsar. You lack respect for the Tsar. Those who turn their backs on the Tsar glory will be tortured until they have confessed their sins and then executed. Do not resist. Oh yeah, watch me. Yeah, he's probably stronger than one of them. He shot him. Paxi just openly defied the Tsar. Oh shit. Trashness. Action confirmed normally would be eliminated. See that? This is what happens when you go flying off the handle without thinking ahead. As cold this version of Russia is, the wood and stone used to build a house would freeze solid and become non-flammable, I imagine. Like, yes, out of a physical side, I want to have a professor look at this. There is no way a house that withstood the cold and already froze on this inside and outside, probably, with ice, would just easily burn down. Like, the fire has nothing it can fuel on. The freaking wood is frozen. It doesn't burn. There's nothing, no source of fire, no source the fire can exist. Still, I must commend him for his timing. This will be an excellent distraction. Now then, Cesith, I trust you know what to do next. Head to the ley line while the pretty are preoccupied with that beast. I'm ready, master. Let's do this. Let's go save Paxi. Paxi sounds like a dog name. Just have a very, very strong fire, ain't it? Yeah, I think it's not possible. Right. Hey, why would you do that? I understand your confusion, Godolph, but this is simply how Chaldea rolls, as they say. I do hope you will learn to accept it. Rest assured, the endeavors like this are far from fruitless. They may be fraught with risk, but their returns more than make up for it. I mean, we saved Godolph, so it's not always true. We lost Big Titty Da Vinci in exchange for Godolph, so it's a lose the entire way through. That's right. This is the ship we're all on. Besides, this is also helps save his life. Alright, Cesith, grab Paxi and get out of here. If you don't do something, he's gonna keep fighting the Pretty until they kill him. Paxi's really strong as well. I think so too. If it comes down to it, then I'll... Absolutely not. You're gonna be normal girl and you will not transform anymore unless you can become Sailor Moon. Tresness action confirmed normally would be eliminated. At the moment, Captain Kurenskaya is handling our actions, our protocol, and our pay. We cannot carry out any execution without her approval, so instead we will crush your limbs to neutralize you. That sounds nice. Paxi! What are you guys doing here? We'll explain later. Please follow us. We know a surefire escape route. What's with her? She doesn't have any fur, just like Mistress Kurenskaya. Is that the Koldun everyone's been talking about? What are you? Rebels have no right to speak. Hold your tongue. Damn it all. Damn it all. I love Mush's Parker sprite. It's cute. It's very cute, yes. Let's go. There's too many of them. I like her beast sprites. Also, I don't know if it's a sprite, but like there is SCE where she has like the beast outfit. That's hot as fuck, man. I love that. You think I don't know? Wait, you guys fought the Pretty before, haven't you? Yes, we have. So we know full well how quickly they move. Don't worry, I know we can get away. Indeed, however, know that if you follow our suggestion, you will no longer be able to return to this town. If that is acceptable to you, we'll have our full support in making your escape. How about it? Why would that matter to him? You saw how the other creatures raided on him. He has still his motto here. You there. You've been on the outs with this town for some time now, haven't you? Surely you can't possibly have any lingering attachments. Collider spotted! The captain must hear of this at once, requesting authorization for execution. Damn it, alright, I'll come with you. Now hurry up and lead the way, Cesith. You don't want to get shot in the back, do you? Did Cesith get Musashi? The answer is sadly not yes. But it's not too sad. I got 5 CCEs that are quite decent, right? I got 2 times the 4-star, which is kind of sad because I didn't want her that desperately. But it's still not that bad. Foo-foo! Good. You managed to escape the town. I'm glad to see no one was hurt. We made it. Yes, senpai. Plans to knock things over in the LA to slow their pursuit worked wonders. Yeah, it was like something out of an old Japanese samurai movie. The kind where the hero escaped periodical stopping to cut down one of the bad guys. Though of course you... Wait. The kind where the hero escaped by periodically stopping the cut down of the bad guys. Though of course, you see the kind of things in the London slums all the time too. Did I just make a stabbing joke about London? Good thing the Pritchiki never tried to shoot you. You probably wouldn't have made it otherwise. I don't know what happened, but I guess there must have been some sort of mistake in the chain of command. Indeed, we should all be grateful for this stroke of good luck. For now, I'm afraid you must keep moving. I've put up a beacon at your destination, Miss Queerlight. Would you mind showing Paxi? Of course, here, Paxi. What are we showing him? I see. So it's a top-down map of a mountain. It's tough to tell what's with all these bumps. Oh, I get it. It's showing the mountain elevation changes. That's pretty nice. That red light is our destination. Once you arrive at the mountain path, I would like you to lead the way. Aqua! Hey! A map can only tell you so much after all. As you are a local, we will have to place our trust in your knowledge of the region. Naturally, I would like you to avoid any areas where demonic beasts are known to appear, and to remember that we're under pursuit. Also, I have a question now. One thing that I also realized that doesn't make logical sense, physically. If you were, like, we're in Antarctica, right? It's minus 100 degrees, which is in itself a thing, right? It would be very brutal for any human to live there. But wouldn't any human be able to survive this? But just digging into the snow and just build some kind of igloo? Because it doesn't matter how cold it is. Under the snow or within the snow, it will always be minus 1 degree. There is never an instance where it's beyond minus. So wouldn't it be possible to build houses that are a lot warmer by just building an igloo? But just building a house of snow, that is guaranteed a lot warmer than a wood house or something. Based on what I learned in science, that would be the right thing to do, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but like, I think this is how it was. Demonic beasts are known to appear, and do remember that we're under pursuit. Kamen Rider, how are you doing? Made it just in time home to catch the streams, he says. Hey, says chat, how are you all doing? Kamen Rider, glad to see you. Hope you have been doing well and had a fun time working. We're currently reading Lostbelt, as you forced me to. I don't know if I would have started reading Lostbelt if you wouldn't have been there saying, if I want to read Lostbelt, you're gonna be mad at me. Come on, Cesith. Mush, let's get going. Although now that I think about it, I get the feeling you guys have been pulling my strings this whole time. A lot of people really hate your guts, don't they? That they do, especially good honest people like yourself. Is it finally time for battle? We had one battle, and we read about 4 hours of this Lost Battle already. It's time for battle. It's still only Mush, most likely. It's not only Mush, oh my god. We can summon now. We're gonna be able to successfully use the kite strategy. 4 more hours until I can play Samurai. Which Samurai? I don't feel anyone staring daggers into my back anymore. Looks like we finally lost our Pritchard key. Damn it, why did this have to happen to me? I'm so sorry. This is all our fault. We didn't know anything about this place, but we still had you take us to your house. Knock it off. Just forget about that. I wasn't thinking straight either. This is what I get for jumping at the chance to strike it rich without thinking it through. It's my fault as much as yours. So that makes us even. Also, one thing I just realized. Why can you not just build an igloo outside of the skirts where no one lives and just kill demonic beasts without having to pay taxes because he doesn't live in a village? Why wouldn't that work? There is enough water because it's freaking snow, right? An igloo would help him to sustain his life. There's enough demonic beasts. He doesn't have to pay taxes. The only thing he's struggling is getting ammunition. So he might as well, like, every once in a while go in a village and steal, like, ammunition for his rifle or some shit. But other than that, technically he will be able to live and sustain himself by himself, right? Fate Samurai. The new game coming out tomorrow. Damn, didn't know about that. What kind of game is it? Is it PS4, PS5 or PC, or what is it? Without thinking through it. Wait, we read this? There is one thing I still don't get. Why didn't you use me as decoy and run off when you had the chance? We couldn't just abandon you. Or console and PC. Oh. No, we couldn't. Both Mess and I wanted to help you. Times like that you're supposed to let the other guy take the fall. But you guys just couldn't keep your noses out of it. Huh? I mean, it's not like me dying's gonna make any difference to your survival. Indeed, the Beastman's exactly right. You're nothing but a defective demi-servant. and a useless third rate master. That's why I told you to stay out of sight instead of getting into fights you can't win. So, my body just moved on its own. I don't get it. Why would you do that? There was nothing in it for you. I only saved you people because I had something to gain from doing it. The Yaga way of life is simple. Only the strong can get to eat. Oh, but surely the weak serve a purpose as well, by providing meat for the strong to consume. That is typically the law of the jungle after all. Not for us the weak aren't even worth eating. Oh, that makes so much sense. You starve to death, but because they were weak, you don't eat them, right? I do that too, right? Every Yaga knows that. Man, you mages really throw me off my game. I assure you I assure you, most mages would make the same choice. You would under those circumstances. The one there with you now is the odd woman out. Also, Diddy Sense, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, I skipped. I assure you, most mages would make the same choice. You would under those circumstances. The one there with you now is the odd woman out. She is motivated primarily by her emotions rather than what she stands to gain or lose. How are you? How are you? Glad to see you here. Thanks, man, for joining in, and I hope you will be enjoying today's stream, where we are reading Lostbelt for the first time. Guess I just have to lay low in some other town until they'll practically forget about me. Hell, at this point, maybe I really will join the rebel army. The rebel army? I remember hearing them mentioned before. I presume they are a group who take issue with Ivan the Terrible Reign. That's right. Word has it they have been around in some form or another for the last 400 years, or 450 years. Sometimes it was nobles fighting, sometimes it was normal folks who'd run out of food. But whoever it is, it almost always ends up with the Oprichixi slaughtering them, though nowadays it sounds like they're still putting up a good fight. I play FGO too. Hey, I hope if you have already read Lostbelt, it might be some nostalgic thing as well. You are aware that all people you see here were once human, evolved to the constant... Wait, you're aware that all people you see here were once human and evolved to the constant winter, right, Cesith? I knew they were transformed, but I assumed there's also like a few humans were transformed, and then I felt like they made babies with like the other animal-looking things. I felt like this is how you did it, but like they were just like all transformed, but they were never able to make babies or something. They say their leader is Lady Archer, who still looks like one of the old humans before Ivan's reign began. Archer? Who could it be? I have a hunch. Maybe she's a servant. Servant? Who should be serving if she's the leader? If she really is a servant, we definitely need to meet her, and if she can help us. At the very least, she's already fighting Ivan the Terrible, so it's safe to assume that the goals are already closely aligned. And if she is a rogue servant, so much the better. Servant can't reach their full potential without a master after all. If you tempt her with a contract, she might even offer to join us of her own accord. It's time to go to the rebel army. So there's been a servant summoned here, but it would not seem to be a counter-reaction on the part of a Holy Grail. Perhaps the servant was summoned in consequence of our arrival with the proper human history, spirit origin graph, or perhaps she's the last bit of resistance this land, no human history itself, had to offer. Holmes, something on your mind? Of course, there's never a moment when my mind is not occupied. And in order for us to truly be able to act here, we must ensure the servant summoning is successful. You should be seeing an area well suited to summoning about now, a cave to be precise. I see it, it's hard to see in this blizzard, but I can make out the cave now. I will also hear thunder overhead. I understand it's statically very unlikely, but I am a bit concerned about us getting struck by lightning. Sorry about that, but I'm glad you made it there in time. That thunder is the mark of some extremely precious energy after all. Okay, Cesith, it's time to fly the kite. Go on, help Mush. Alright, Leave the flying to me, master. Something tells me the lightning will hit the kite, but because, as Benjamin Franklin did, he had a bandit around his hand, right, when he used the kite thing in the 1800s to discover electricity. That band-aid wouldn't have saved him from the electrical shock. So there's a chance, not only will we be able to summon the servant, but it will also charge Mush. I would not be against that idea. By the way, Da Vinci, it is safe to fly a kite in a storm like this, right? You're sure I'm not going to be electrocuted or anything, right? That's exactly what my theory was. Oh. That is not a reassuring response. This is why you really shouldn't work on such short notice. It's way too easy to forget about little details like that. But never mind that now. Come on, get the kite up in there. Chop chop. This is... I think I'm so right. You have never answered my question. I am still right with my assumption. Look, Benjamin Franklin did an experiment very similar to this. And it came out just fine. But that's because it didn't hit. The freaking kite never hit from Benjamin Franklin. That's why it was fine. It was very well noted that if it would have been a hit, then most likely, there was a high chance he would have died from that experience. So, just saying, the upbeat music should answer it all. You gotta have upbeat music to make it even more impactful for plot twist. Well, some of the people who tried to replicate his results weren't so lucky. I said it! But you can't do science without breaking a few scientific eggs. What sort of monstrous servant are you? I've never seen such a hostile working environment. Wait, that's it? I've just had a flash of inspiration, Cesith. Use your head. If there is a dangerous job to do, a job to be done, delegate it to someone else. Say, that Yaga there with you. Perhaps his kind don't mind being zapped with lightning. Are you nuts? I wouldn't last 2 seconds. Lightning's one of the Tsar's most powerful weapons. It's fry me like a piece of Krishat bacon. How dare you question my intelligence, beastman? Think you've already revoluted against the Tsar of yours, haven't you? There's no turning tail and running away now. You need to face reality. Reality? That's rich coming from a fearless bunch of pink-skinned humans from some fairy tale paradise. It would seem that the lightning here is strong enough to discourage even a young Paxi. Alas, we have no alternative. Miss Kirillite, please connect the wire to the Spirit Origin briefcase. Once that is done, I want you to run as fast as you can while holding the kite horizontally. So she's not holding it. Okay. Understood. I'll make sure the kite gets airborne. Here it goes! I'm actually curious now what's gonna happen. The kite has reached the center of the thunderclouds, activating conversation spell. Now, way to go, Mush. Good, continue to keep an eye on the kite, Miss Kirillite. Mrs. Cesith, remain on standby. The near Spirit Origin briefcase. It is crucial for the summon that you be there. This is forced summon. Once one of the hero spirits you have bonded with has been summoned, they will convert the lightning into magical energy and use it to form a Spirit Origin. But that alone will not keep them here for long. Like, if it comes to lightning, I would be so damn happy if we summon Frankenstein. If a servant summoned via human magecraft is to remain in this world, they will need an attractor, a master that can serve as their anchor. Your job is to converse with the servant that appears and form a contract with them immediately. I hope it's Frankenstein. I'd be so happy if it's Frankenstein. Especially because there's not much to read if Frankenstein is there. What's all this about? Man, that thing's really up there. I swear I have no idea what these humans are thinking. Hold it, Holmes. Just because this isn't the Russia we know, doesn't mean we can let some commoner witness magecraft being performed. Can't you get the Wolfman to go off somewhere else? Surely you don't want to ruin his life by showing him things he's better off not knowing. I suppose you do have a point. Very well then, I will speak with him. Paxi, I'm terribly sorry to ask this of you, but we're about to perform a highly secret ritual here. Would you mind waiting outside the cave until it is complete? Again, I do apologize. Wait, what? Is he gonna listen? Paxi? Paxi. So I'm not good enough to see their secret little ritual? Damn it. They wouldn't even be here now if I hadn't showed them the way. What do I care about rituals? I can smell them, so they're over here. Most Yaga go their whole life without even hearing about mages, let alone meeting one. I know that mages worked with Ivan the Terrible to perform the spell that combined human and demonic beasts, the one that created us, the Yaga. And I know that if they hadn't turned us into Yaga, we'd probably never have survived the Great Cold Wave. They say the mages are still at work, trying all sorts of spells in the hopes that one of them can save the world. Curse! They also say that all the mages were killed when they got on Ivan's terrible bad side. All the rumors are so vague as to be damn near worthless. I know that mages exist, but I have no idea what they actually do. I figured that being a mage and all, they'd have so much magical energy that even a Yaga like me could sense it. But as far as I can tell, that Cesith girl isn't anything special. If she were a Yaga, she'd have been too weak to survive more than a day after being born. I have no idea why they particularly would care about her, or any of them. Still, I can't help but think, maybe she really will end up saving this world. Which is why I can't stand them keeping this ritual thing a secret from me. Not after they've gone and gotten my hopes up like that. I can sense those two humans now, along with a ton of magical energy. Alright then, let's see what the secret ritual is all about. What is that? It was an intricate design symbol of magecraft, one meant to make miracles possible. Everything in place, Master. The Spirit Origin briefcase now has enough charge for a single summon. The girl extended her right hand and called it out loud and clear. My will creates your body, and your sword creates my destiny. If you heed the Grail call and abide by this will and reason, then answer me. I hereby swear. I embody all that is good in the world. I shall defeat all is evil in the world. Seventh heaven clad in the three worlds of power, come forth from the circle of binding guardian of the scales. Hello Sky, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? We're currently summoning something in the Lostbelt. Guardian of the scales. Hope you had a great stream. Paxi, what? Those words bring up genuine miracles. They are an incantation. What? How do you pronounce this? Incantation spanning search of bravery and wisdom, all in the service of overcoming any difficulties that may stand in the way. I hope you had a good stream. What were you playing? The Fate System, a secret ritual for summoning heroic spirits. Oh no, we're fucked. We can swing the white flag. It's game over. Oh, we're so dead. Not him. I don't like him. Fuck that dude. Why him? Out of all dudes, he's boring. He's not fun. Fuck that man. My name is Avi Bron. I am a caster. I come in response to your summon. It would seem though that the circumstances are somewhat unusual. And you over there, are you an enemy? Ah! Paxi! I thought this might happen. You saw the secret summoning ritual. Curse, fool of a beast. How dare you trample all over my kindness. Cesith ordered that servant of yours to dispose of the witness. Haha, now calm yourself, God of. Surely there is no need in the world with no mages association. For that matter, even if some were to see the summoning ritual, I doubt there's anyone in this rush who could decipher it. Golem's useful. Fuck Golem! I wanted something hot. I wanted titty. I'm a simple man. I don't want to chill with golems. Especially he is not a cool good dude. Besides, I believe Pax's understanding our power would in fact be to our benefit. That guy just appeared out of nowhere. Hey, you. Are you a human? I'm not. I am a servant. One who long made his mark on history. Thanks to my accomplishments, I ascended to the throne. As heroic spirit, now I serve this woman, for she is my master. Heroic spirit? Then does that mean you are like Evan the Terrible? Oh, so your enemy is Evan the Terrible. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. Looks like we got an intelligence sword. We already have one, we don't need another one. As a result of my summoning, I know all the information my master possesses. That said, it seems there are still many things we have yet to learn about this strange land. Now then, where to begin before we discuss matters? Oh, I skipped. Further, why don't I show you what I'm capable of? Demonic beasts. Damn it, I didn't even notice them following me here. A word of warning before I fight. My body is frail and weak. I may be the least useful out of all the classes, in the sense that I cannot do anything myself. But I am also a miracle worker, so to begin, I would like to show you what manner of miracles I'm capable of performing. Now let's do a spell. Now we have golems, but we still only have him. Fuck that dude. So we have Mush, and we have him. We even maybe have Paxi. It probably doesn't have a sprite, most likely. I'd be surprised about that. Does it matter what I use? I should have used Quick, probably. Also, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna get something to eat. Give me a second, I'll be right back in a second.
五大元素接続土くれに生命と武器を生み出す楽園にて受難の民を導きたまえゴーレム・ケテルマルクと行け石の巨人よ暴力を前
That is such an incredible long noble phantasm. That's wild. I didn't even see it. Okay, we're definitely not supposed to fail this battle. We're just gonna go with arts. I mean, who gives a shit? This golem is versatile. I mean, his damage is not diverse, but like, I don't like his design, nor do I like his character. So after 3 hours of reading, our first battle again is a battle that lasts 3 minutes. Good. So what I assume, story. We have now one servant. We don't have enough energy for summoning another servant. We're gonna meet up with the rebel army. The rebel army's leader is an archer that is most likely Emiya. That Emiya will go a pack with me, and then we will have slowly forces to actually have a chance against Koyanskaya. That was incredible. Those stones, they just flattened. Those Krishat, like, it was nothing. These are my golems. I'm too weak to fight myself, so my only option is to have them to do some on my behalf. Now, Master, we can talk more later. First, I'm going to make this cave into my workshop. That should strengthen our ability to summon, which will, in turn, allow you to make us of our spirit arching graph. Didn't they say the female character? I mean, I don't think that dude is a female character. From my knowledge, he's a dude. He was in Fate Acrophia, right? I have something else to eat from you, by the way. Good. That way you may call upon the shadow of the servant registered within the briefcase whenever you like. You will of course only be able to do so in combat, as this power is sadly quite limited in its scope. Now then, I think I shall rest until the workshop is complete. Also, I realized by eating, it's way more easy to talk. Because your throat is getting dried by just drinking water, it's just not enough to replenish your throat again. Master Cesith, Mash Creolite, and Paxi the Yaga, was it? Allow me to introduce myself again. My true name is Evis Braun. As you can see, I am a caster, just a humble maker of golems. But given the circumstances, it would be nonetheless seem that I'm just a servant for the job. So, you weren't part of the Spirit Origin Graph, Mrs. Cesith, has never met you before. Then it must have been the land itself crying out for help that brought you here, rather than a bond with her. It would seem that the existing heroic spirits cannot easily materialize in this world. No, just one more thing that sets this place apart from a singularity. I guess this is what the Magecraft theory was talking about. But that can wait for now. I'm just glad we have a new ally, and one seemed like to be very helpful at that. Avibron, given your particular expertise, do you think you might be able to repair the Shadow Border's armor? Let me see the data. By all means, go on, give it to me straight. Well, we'll first need to find the right materials. I should be able to craft a suitable armor plate as long as we have quality ore imbued with magical energy. Ordinary such ore is only traded among mages, but I believe we should be able to find some here. Good answer, just what I expected to hear from the forefather of all golems. Mind if I leave him in charge of fixing the Shadow Border's armor homes? Not at all. That would certainly be a great help. Now then, Mrs. Cesith, Miss Creolite Paxi, I believe we should decide on our next course of action, assuming that's alright with you, Godolph. Of course, I will have the final say, yes? Naturally. Da Vinci, I would ask you to continue learning everything you can regarding the materials. For the other matter, we discussed that is. Okay, I'm on it. Right, in brief, I believe our next move should be to rendezvous with this rebel army. We now know that its leader is a servant. Moreover, there's a strong chance they will elect to join us, given that they oppose even the terrible. But we don't know where the rebel army is. I believe Paxi can be of assistance there. You know where they are, don't you? Not exactly, but I do know how a few villages that are rumored to have ties to them. Word has it they provide them with food, hide them from the pretty, that sort of thing. Then that is where we will go. I trust it's all right with you, Director? A village where rebel gathers, I don't much care for the notion, but then again I won't have to be the one going there anyway. Very well then, be off with you, Cesith. I await good news and much overdue supply of food. The shadow borders reserved are nearly empty, and the state of one's belly has direct effect on morale. I'm sure you are well aware of this, but the border staff are mentally exhausted as well. They have been battling hunger. The cold, and the cabin fever for some time now. At least you've been able to walk around outside. Alright, I almost forgot about the little problem. But are we sure we can even eat Krisha meat? We had better be able to wait. We had better be able to eat it. Forget the roast beef now. I'd be happy with a side of bacon. The music family has been practicing alchemy for generations. Even if the meat does contain toxins, rest assured that I can make it edible. I've been stranded alone in snowy mountains countless times before, so I've invented my own spells to turn bad meat into good. Okay, he has something useful. I can even transform spoiled meat into Cillian. What else do you think I know as Musk the Phoenix? Wow, what a useless, totally useful spell. It's definitely a narrow niche, but it's just the one we need right now. Understood. Good. Once the shadow border is working again, we should be able to support you in much more active capacity. Hey. We are slowly getting there to normal fights. So, does this one have story as well? This one has story, right? So, I would say this is probably a good time to end it for today. But, we have one more thing to do. We have gathered one last poll, one last chance to summon the legendary one, to summon Musashi. It's just one poll, but this is enough to cope. And so with that, even if we didn't get lucky, we had 44 polls around there. Can we pull off something great? A K-Scope or Musashi is all we want. We got nothing. Bullshit! What a trashy pull! Okay. Well, it is what it is. But we're gonna raid someone. Who are we raiding? That was so disappointing and anticlimactic. That's so wild. Who are we raiding? FGO. Let's just raid. Let's just raid them. I'm maximizing. So with that, I've raided them before. So to all of you, wait, that's the wrong person. Raids like this. Pervu! Thank you so much for another sub.
Thank you very
I
much.
really appreciate that. You were so generous today. In total, like, I think 6 subs in total. Thank you so much for this. This is so generous. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching. You're amazing. To all of you here, thanks so much for watching me reading Lostbelt and coping with the polls. But with that said, I wish all of you have a nice evening, nice morning. Wish you the best of luck. I had a sponsored video with a gacha game. Make sure to check it out. Maybe download the game via the link in the description to support the channel as well, to support me, to make sure I can pay my bills if you're interested. But with that said, to all of you, thanks so much for staying here. And I wish you a nice day, nice evening, and nice afternoon. And with that said, bye bye, Svesai. Have a good one. And see ya.